Hello and welcome to episode 46 of Curse of Strahd. I'm your host, DB Thanks so much for coming on out. We're nearing the end of this campaign. Probably have a couple sessions left over and all this. So thank you guys again for joining us on this journey. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. And if you are not subscribed yet to the One Shot Tavern, please subscribe to the One Shot Tavern. If you're watching live on Twitch, I just put a link to the One Shot Tavern on the Twitch chat. And if you ever want to join us on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you join us on Sundays at 3 p.m. And we'll be running D&D during that time. Once this campaign is over, I will, I'll talk about, what I'm going to be doing D&D wise in the future for my channel and everything else. So, before we move forward, any news for us, MTC?
We wish everybody a happy Father's Day for last week when we didn't show up. We were all celebrating with fathers and family and stuff like that. Big thanks to everybody for understanding. Fig's right, we only have a couple more sessions left, probably 2 or 3, depending on how things go, which is going to be fun. However, summer seems to be a busy time in America for holidays and things like that. So we do have the 4th of July coming up next week, and we will be taking that off so we can spend time with our families and things like that. We'll be coming back the following week. I believe that is the 11th, I'm going to say.
Yes.
Yes, so the 11th of July will be the next session that we have after this one. Again, thank everybody for their patience, but, real life is real life, and we all have things to do. So we appreciate you guys, and that's all I've got.
All right, sounds really good. Well, before we move forward, obviously we want to make sure that oh yes, and Black Widow releases in the UK on July 11th because we got to make sure that's that we keep the movie dates as well. So let's go down the list and start introducing ourselves to the YouTubes and to the stream watchers. I'll go first. I'm DB Fig. I play Kelma Den, a feral tiefling monk, a man who is has a bit of an anger issue problem, but he means well. Now I pass it on to Blueness.
Hi, I'm Blueness. I play Savari, a playing werewolf barbarian. She doesn't know what she's doing right now. She's just going with the motion. And I'm gonna pass it on to Chi.
Sorry, I was drinking coffee. Hi, I'm Chi. I play Osganima Wayburn. I'm a 72-year-old man, and have we ever known what we are doing? I'm passing it on to MTC.
Hi, I'm the Mountain Troll Chief. I'm the Dungeon Master, game runner of this campaign. Sticking with the theme, I don't think anybody knows what they're doing in a level 15 campaign at this height and this level, so we're all kind of just winging it. Over to them.
Hi, I'm Nimue. I play Brenwyn Winter. Jeez, I have to think. My brain is dead. This is going to be a fun game. I am a rogue. I am a day one Dampier, and yeah, as you can tell, I don't know what I'm doing either. Wicked.
If you didn't know already, I also don't know what I'm doing, but I am Trovik, the Minotaur ultimate barbarian / fighter, and yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, it's good times. So as always, we're gonna follow the theme of just kind of figuring out what we're gonna do and probably messing it up along the way. So now let's enter the world of Barovia once again as we join and continue the Curse of Strahd.
All right. So, last time in the Curse of Strahd, we found a magnificent mansion of sorts hidden away in the hills. And the party spent the better part of their session figuring out some intricate, if not silly, puzzles planted by a very crafty and strange mage that they found in the center of the temple after completing all of the trials. They found a vial on the back wall that helped to clarify the stupefied mage's memory, and they were formally introduced to Mordenkainen of the Nine Realms. He is in this region trapped, just like everyone else. His powers have been deteriorated, but he is potentially a valuable ally for the party going forward. We had ended last session. I believe we were still in Mordenkainen's lair. If this doesn't break everybody's screen, I'm sorry, but I'm actually going to move us over there just so we know where we were.
I think we were just sitting on the table.
I know. Good luck. Because we were sitting around a magnificent dining table in a side room in this mansion that had just opened up, and you were all feasting and enjoying delicacies from realms far beyond this one. As you all explained some of the scenario to Mordenkainen, and he had told you all a few interesting things about your current position. But I believe we were still deciding on what to do next now that you have this new ally. And that's where we'll pick back up. So,
Well,
trying to remember exactly. Yeah, there we go.
all right.
Sorry, it's been 2 weeks.
No problem. So, what are we going to be doing now?
The one thing I have to sort of question is if this man, Mordenkainen, is capable of traveling between realms, what's to stop him from just taking the rest of us and leaving? Why can't we just escape now?
I look down the table at three people to kind of in this realm with us that should be kind of in this realm.
Fair.
Just
seems like there's like an easy way out, you know?
Yeah. But I also made a promise.
He looks down the table as you're kind of saying this and just kind of cocks up his head. I'm sorry?
No, fine. Good. Go.
Please. I'm
No.
sorry.
Go.
He kind of looks down the table. Getting out of here was that easy. I would have made my escape when I fell from the waterfall. Something is holding beings here. I was able to plane in. I was not able to plane out.
Interesting.
Well,
I didn't come through the mist like most. I used my magic to get here.
well,
Do you think that it's Orcus's influence?
Sorry?
Do you think that it's Orcus's influence?
Could be. There is clearly something that has bound this land for the last 400 years. A demon would make sense as much as any other creature. Demon prince, no less. And if what's happening outside as you say it is, I think that might be the right idea to go off of. He kind of pauses for a moment and speculates, almost like he's looking into the distance. Just kind of like off and past you guys almost. Kind of loses himself in thought for a moment.
Kelmar's just eating the food. He's kind of checked out of this conversation.
Well, I suppose that's the recap of it for our viewers. Anyway.
Who?
Don't worry about it. So, What's
I
the
need
plan
you
then?
to make a
As
wisdom saving
Elmo was
throw
saying.
for me, Osgood.
God, yeah. Hey,
Oh, I probably should have cleared the chat.
Rack.
Nice.
Alright.
Very nice. You take 2 points of psychic damage. Somewhere in the
Lovely.
cosmos, something pokes you in the mind.
Fucking worth it.
People watching us right now? That would be so weird if people were watching us. Like, that's really weird.
Valid, I suppose. Anyway, what's the plan? As Kalmo said, we have some rather interesting things on our hand.
Irina
Suppose
and Ismark at the bottom of the table have just kind of been quiet and to themselves for the most part. Sorry, Brennan.
I suppose the plan is the castle. We need to go there at least to confirm that we are doing as we planned initially, and to see if there's any problems.
Well, I mean, probably guaranteed there's a problem.
Yes.
I'm assuming those demons that we were dealing with are all probably knocking on Strahd's door.
Yes.
Osgood starts humming Heaven's Door.
Oh. We also need Gaino's spellbook.
Yeah, well, let's head back to the town then. That's not too far from here.
Do we really think that we can get back to town and then back to the castle within any easy amount of time?
Easy.
What?
Eh.
Oh, we don't have the faintest idea what time of day it is because we've been in freaking.
You've basically been in Narnia for the last God knows how long.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have no idea
The
how long
war
it's
is
been.
already over. They're all dead.
I mean.
That's about what I'm thinking.
Also, it might be best for when we head to the castle, it's probably going to be an all or nothing situation. And we probably want to take care of what we need to take care of and rest one more good time before going straight to the castle.
I mean, that's why we were on the way when we stopped here.
Yeah. Well, we got this guy. Hey, at least we got some dinner out of it.
He's gonna shake his head out of it, kind of, and out of a stupor, and just kind of, sorry. So, your plan, as far as Strahd knows, from what you can tell me, is go to the castle, put on the show and the wedding, appease him, and hope for the best in his eyes.
Assume that magically fulfills some contract and everything reaches a conclusion. Obviously, expecting some.
Turbulence.
Yes, turbulence.
I get a feeling.
We do have a few things on our side. He doesn't know I'm alive.
Yes. That is
He believes you all are bringing the girl so he can fulfill his wish. Should probably keep him under that guise as long as possible.
Hang on.
Did Brennan just meow?
No. Thinking. Rowan is thinking. You wouldn't happen to know any sort of illusion magic that might make you maybe look like our friend?
He thinks for a moment.
Or
I don't have
do
anything
we-
in my repertoire. There may be something in that spell book of your friends.
Yes, that's the question. I look around with like, SC might your friend be able to help with that? He knows magic, right?
Sorry, which friend? What are we
I'm
referencing?
trying not to say Van Richten's name out loud.
Understandable, got it. She kind of like
But
picks up
he
what
wouldn't know. It doesn't matter.
She kind of starts to pick up what you're putting down after a moment. Sorry, I just said the DM didn't know what you're talking about. I apologize, but I get it now. He's got that hat. I don't know if that's enough. Of course, it did keep Strahd at bay for the better part of 6 months.
That hat.
It's how he goes from being Rictavio to Von Richten.
Oh,
Oh.
Enchanted. I look at everyone like, seriously?
Reduces someone's intelligence, likely.
guaranteed.
No. Anyway.
They look
I
fully.
I suppose if there was ever a reason for the old man to get rid of his hat.
I mean,
An ace in
we're
the hole
heading
might do
back
the
there
job.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, makes sense.
Well,
There is one other complication I should mention.
Another one. Okay.
Me being able to cast ceremony, I can only do it after I must be casting for an hour straight. That is a thing that is unfortunately a rule of the spell. We're going to have to keep him occupied for an hour.
well, at this time, Strahd kind of views us as a welcoming party. We could, you could start doing the ceremony while we're talking to him, and just kind of view it as like, oh, you're setting things up. I mean, we are going to be doing a wedding.
I believe so. I don't really know.
Let me
Would I
in.
know if that's even possible?
Game, you would know that's possible.
I would need to be touching somebody though.
For ceremony? I don't think so.
Yeah, it says range touch.
Why are we using ceremony again?
Because
Not that it matters, I'm just curious.
Marriage. It
Yeah.
fulfills the contract.
I know,
Yeah.
it does spell-wise, but I'm just trying to make sure. 10 feet of you throughout the casting.
Could
Sorry.
we sort of just say that I'm casting it without necessarily having to touch anybody?
I mean, in that sort of case of a spell, I don't know what MTC would rule it, but
Yeah.
like, I would have
I'm
thought
asking
it's
MTC
at
on,
some
like, the
point
rules
you need
spell.
to touch someone.
Or
I was about to say, I don't think you need to touch them for the entire casting hour.
Just like
The spell officially says you perform one of several religious ceremonies when you cast a spell, choosing one of the following ceremonies, the target of which must be within 10 feet of you throughout the casting. If you were setting up a wedding and doing the thing for a ceremony like that, I would say as long as you were in vicinity, it would still work because you're setting it up for the entire area. Does that make sense?
yeah,
that makes sense. I'm
in
just
the
like,
context of this particular thing, yes, I
Yeah.
understand rules as written. It's a little different, but I would let
Yeah.
that slide as a DM.
I'm just
Now
just
getting back to
imagining
being in
like
character.
Osgood following people around with their hand on their shoulder.
For an hour would be egregious.
yeah.
Yeah.
And any priest that touches two people's hands for an hour to bind them in marriage is anyway, is a whole ceremony in and of itself. But yeah, no, I would say that ceremony being cast as an action to perform a wedding ceremony would be acceptable in its own right. Does that make sense?
Solid. Yep. Okay. Thanks.
Just as a DM ruling for what we're doing.
Yep.
But back
Cards
into
up.
it.
So
So in theory, your plan could work.
well, I guess we're gonna be heading back to. Is there anything else that we need to take care of?
Oh, I mean, I thought we took care of everything on the way here,
Yeah.
and this
Pretty
was
sure
kind of
y'all
a.
did.
We'll
Yeah,
see
this was
what's
kind of a
here.
let's pop in. Yeah. I think y'all kind of already made the decision to go to the castle beforehand, so
All right.
doing a trek back wouldn't be the pain in the ass, but I do remember distinctively that y'all had kind of exhausted most of your options before coming here.
Yep.
Back to Valaki again.
Back to Valaki once more.
Yeah.
So, now with the mage in tow, along with Ismark, Irina, and Esmeralda, who are thoroughly still amazed by this ridiculous mansion itself, you all would make it back out to the entrance of the mansion, up the 30-foot staircase that leads to the large door that you can see from the inside. Mordenkainen would lead the way up the stairs and open the door. And outside of the door, you would see the bleak forests of Barovia that you were traveling in prior to walking into the store. What would you all like
Storm
to do?
clouds, with all.
Storm clouds, the works, everything.
Should we rest
I-
before going to over there now? Since, we had to fight a dragon. Or did we rest?
Did we short rest?
Yeah.
You did short rest.
Oh, yeah, we did short rest. Okay, never mind.
Nice.
Did you exit?
Tell Ma to chill out on the floor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, yeah, I was passed out on the floor for a while.
Yeah, I had to sit on you and make sure you stay there.
Yeah.
That is right. I remember that. All right. So as you all exit Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion, and all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 party members, 3 guests, and a guest, so that's 9. After all 9 of you exit the building, the golden archway begins to dissolve and disappears behind you. And you all are once again in the northern forests of Barovia. You are easily enough able to make your way with horses and travel and things back to the town of Valaki. Going back around the edge of the river or edge of the lake would take you probably another 2.5 hours or so. But not a ridiculous travel. You would set out early morning. However, when you exited Mordenkainen's mansion, it is just about dusk.
Oh.
We've been in there for a while.
Wonderful. Well, Valaki, sleep in Valaki Castle.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, we had a room in there.
Thought occurs to me that the longer we spend in civilization, the more chances of there being an attack on said civilization.
Agreed. So, I guess you want to go?
We should
As-
move.
Esmeralda pipes up for a moment. What she says is true. We put that entire town at risk. The more we go back. Maybe not all of us go back to get the things that are necessary. For example, all we need is a book and a hat, right?
Correct.
Sure.
I could take a horse. Hopefully meet you at the gates of Barovia.
Hopefully.
That would work.
Yeah.
You're the most likely to get the hat.
Yeah.
Listen to me if anybody else. If I tell him we have a ace in the hole that might tip our scales, he'd be a little more willing to give it away.
Aye.
Might just tell him to stay in Valaki then.
And while you're there, might as well inform the rest that if they start hearing things go crazy, use aid.
Agreed. All right. Well, she kind of looks around. Wouldn't you mind? Because I believe, if I remember DM correctly, you had 5 horses, right? Or did you have a horse for everybody?
We had a cart.
You had a cart. You did have a cart.
Yeah.
We had a cart.
Yeah,
we had a cart for once. Yay, carts.
Yeah, we had a couple. We actually had a couple horses and a cart.
Is it a cart or a wagon?
Both.
Fair enough.
We had a couple of horses.
You did have a couple horses and a cart.
Is it 3 or 4?
I think it was 4 horses because
I'm sorry, it's been 2 weeks.
'Cause
Everybody in
Tro-
chat, I apologize.
because Trovik needs his own horse.
Trovik does need
Yes.
his own horse. That's what we kind
And I
of
was
decided.
definitely on a horse.
You were on a horse. Irina and
Mama
Ismark
was
were on a
sharing with
horse.
me.
Were they? I thought they were
Oh, no,
on
they were in the cart. They were in the cart. Esmeralda was in the cart too, I believe.
Yeah.
Probably.
And
I think
Kalma and
Well, I wasn't on
Savari
a
were sharing. Oh no, you weren't because you can move faster than a horse. That's right. So you would walk beside.
Well, no, I was on my staff.
Ah, that's
Yes.
right. You can fly on the staff. I forget.
No.
Nyum!
So
Which,
if
by the way,
I
is more
jump in a
hilarious
cart,
for things. But yeah,
yeah, if I
Mhm.
jump in a cart,
you can jump in the cart, give Esmeralda your horse, and
or I could jump on a broom
I'm the only
because
one who
I
can
can.
What, you can-
We established that I'm light enough to jump on with you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, you I think you might be the only one.
Maybe
Everybody else
Osgood.
too.
Maybe I was
Yeah,
good.
maybe I was
And-
good.
and-
I'm 72 years old.
Yeah, and maybe Savari when she's not in wolf form.
Yeah.
But I don't even think my staff could hold Trovik naturally at all.
No.
Esmeralda kind of takes the horse from you and is going to mount it up and I'll see you at the gates. Make haste. And she kind of hauls off down, off through the forest into the distance and slowly out of view from the party.
Oh, guess let's go.
I'm
No.
going to put us back on a world map. Because world maps, the best. It'll show you where shit actually is happening. Fun
Yes,
stuff.
because there was directional things.
There are directional things. Let me adjust directional things real quick.
Go away, dice. Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Oh. Fuck.
oh yeah, the whole temple was covered in that BS.
I can't even see my damn borders. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm the worst.
We're all doomed.
I mean,
Where the hell's the border at? It's gonna bother me that I can't see that.
No, you're towards the very bottom now. Of the environment.
I know. It's just the let me do it. Sorry. I can do it from the sides. It's just I don't want to. Anyway, it's just gotten bigger. That's the point.
Okay.
nasty dog clad. I thought those things were just directional.
There. It's just more things coming up.
Oh, great.
They haven't sealed or stopped.
Great.
That's fine. I'm not even gonna worry about all that. It's too much. All right. So you all are here. As Esmeralda tears down this side of the lake to go back to the town of Valaki.
Well,
Where are you going? What direction would you like to take?
I guess.
Castle.
Castle is here.
Are
What
we
were
gonna,
the
are we gonna go
where?
like straight ahead around, or are we gonna go back to where it was?
Ooh.
Because we either walk to the forest, or like you said, we go back.
I
through it.
just realized that we came through Valaki to
Exactly.
get. Yeah, we could have just.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I was insinuating, because I was like, the rest of it's forest walking, which is no problem for me, but for everybody else.
Up to you guys.
I mean,
we could just say that we following the beach.
Following the waterline, following the coastline. It's up to you guys.
yeah. I think we should try and join up with the road there, because the road will be easier.
Yeah.
At some point,
Mm-hmm.
do we want to cave down and like try and join up with the road here or here?
I think here might be best. Because
Yeah.
then we could get here, and then if for whatever reason we do need to go to Valaki, just in case,
Mm-hmm.
by the time we get there, we could just go to the right, and if not, we'll just follow the
Yeah,
road.
we can take a glance back and see if there's everything on fire behind us.
Exactly.
We slowly watch as the fucking ground falls away into an endless void.
Mm,
The abyss takes hold.
All right, so I guess we're just gonna.
Possibly not wrong.
Yeah, I guess we're just
All
gonna
right.
walk around the beach bank. Get
All
there.
right. Absolutely. So it is dusk.
ah, shit. Yeah.
Doop, 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 doop. 8, 16, 5. 8 and 5 are no consequence. I think 16's a consequence either, but I have to check. Perfect. All right. Cool. So, as you all are going around the edge of the large lake, you get most of the way around the lake, and in certain parts where you come across like this river here, for example, and things like that. As you all look north and look around you and just kind of observing your surroundings, making sure nothing might be sneaking up on you or anything like that. Checking the sky for any more portals opening up or any craziness happening. You do notice that there is a massive curtain of purple fog that seems to be escalating. Probably about a mile and a half, 2 miles north of your position. And the further you go, it kind of like fades away into the distance, but it does seem to be encroaching on the land more and more. With your cart and your goods and things like that, you all are easily able to travel over some of these rivers. Most of them have small bridges and things like that. Let me make one more roll for things. Perfect. All right. And so after about 2.5 hours or so traveling around the bend of the lake, trying to be safe, trying to be cautious, but also moving at a brisk pace, you would see a familiar willow tree in the distance. Or coming up on the horizon, I guess. It is getting darker, though.
Keep an eye on people. I say, just in general. Everyone keep an eye on everyone else. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you?
I just
are you,
stare
are,
at the rest of the group.
Branwen, are you on the cart or are you on with me on the
Cart.
staff?
Who's
The
cart?
cart. All right, so I just fly up higher than everybody else and just kind of give a bird's eye view.
Yep. Well, the. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like going sky high. I'm just kind of like hovering, like maybe
That's
10
the
feet.
problem. Cool. It's fine. It's already happened.
So as you go above to observe and kind of keep a bird's eye view on things, and look around, you see the forest just at the top of the trees is where you're at. There's a heavy. The cloud cover is heavy overhead. It's starting to roll in more and more. The lake itself looks still for the most part from what you can see, Kelma. The overhead view, you can't see anything at the willow tree itself. Probably about a quarter mile down in the south in the distance is what seems to be a road.
All right, I float down and just kind of pass on to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Before.
Okay. And as you all walk back to the opening and the same way you came into this lake the very first time you were here, Osgood, you get a chill down the back of your neck. But it's fleeting.
Must just
It's
be the
only for a
shivers.
moment. And you all are able to make it back to the path that leads from Valaki to Barovia. However, the night has begun to set on you. Push forward.
Well,
Pause for the night. What would you like to do?
did you want to rest? Or did you want to just go all the way?
I need travel music. I don't have travel music.
I'm pretty capable of just keeping on going. I can push forward onto dawn.
But we'll get exhausted.
Valid, but I don't really have anything out. I've not run out of my circles of magic at all yet.
Well, I guess let's keep going. Unless someone has objections.
Fair enough. All right. So, continuing through the darkness, I need to roll. What are those? Ooh.
I
Fun
don't like
stuff.
those nat 20s.
I know. 2 nat 20s.
I mean, at least they're used now and not on us in combat.
Yeah.
Very true. This is very true. So as you guys continue further and further down the path, you come around the bend. And on the side of the road, you notice there's a little child crying, sitting huddled down in a small pile on the side of the road.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Let's just actively avoid that.
Insight check.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Insight check the child.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Come
Yeah,
on,
I'm not
this
gonna
is
roll it.
Barovia.
Um, suspicious. Very suspicious. It looks like a child. Cries like a child. Sitting on the side of the road in the pitch black of darkness, crying to itself. Is very ominous. This is Barovia.
But all signals are pointing to like this is not what it seems.
This is not what it seems.
All right. I kind of glance over to Branwyn and I kind of give a glance to Trovic, kind of do like a shake my head, like no, kind of notion. I take a look around as well. I mean, I can't really see. I mean, I have night vision, but
Yeah, I mean, y'all can only see so far. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking around, kind of like trying to case out where this girl's at, like I assume y'all haven't like stopped in the path or anything.
I
You're
was
just
thinking
continuing
no,
to go.
we're still riding. He's just
Right.
keeping his eye on it.
Yeah, I was about to say, as you keep eyes around, nothing else seems to be in the woods in the area around you or in the plains surrounding you. It's just probably about 60 or so feet off in front of you, and getting closer as you ride forward is just a girl sitting on the side of the road crying. She has black hair.
Okay.
Mm.
Like I just kind of like motion to like no, gotta keep going. But I keep my eye on the child as we keep riding by.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you ride by, she just begins to sob louder and louder, almost as if to try and get your attention. But the girl doesn't move as you ride by. She barely even looks up.
Yep.
And 40 feet between you and the girl, 60, 80. Off into the distance, you all continue to ride.
Yep.
With my eyes of the eagle as we ride away, can I see if there's anything? What exactly that was? If there's anything that sort of moves or
It's just perception checks, right? That's what it gives you advantage on.
yeah, anything that relies on sight, I can see up to like 200 miles. What the fuck?
No, it's not too.
Not that far, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking back over your shoulder, it's still just a girl sitting on the road.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
You all come across the crossroads to the Bone Grinder, and the crossroad that leads further to the gates of Barovia.
Keep on. Not stopping
Straight to
the bone grinder.
Barovia.
Yeah,
No,
where
I'm
you
just
going?
making sure.
You want to recruit the hags?
Hags pay no mind, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe if we interact with Hags earlier on and did trustworthy stuff,
Did hag
maybe.
things, yeah.
But
Yeah.
just walking up there and go, "Hey, you want to help us out?" Yeah.
Fair enough. And you would eventually get all the way up the winding hills in the path that leads to the massive stone gates of Barovia with the two stone soldiers standing there, both beheaded, both heads standing at the floor of the gate. I need everybody to make a perception check for me.
I have advantage.
Oh. Yeah.
To do with hearing or sight?
Oh, Jesus, 11?
Vari sees
Oh,
all.
nice. Yeah.
Vari sees into the future.
Very nice. Savari makes the most sense to be the one to see this too. But
I see
Very
a
nice.
win in our future. Oh my god.
Not quite.
We're all doomed.
However, as you all approach the gate, many thoughts passing through your minds about what could be potentially waiting for you at the castle. As you're looking around and looking into the sky where these things have been flying out of and these portals have been being created out of thin air and the like, as you all approach and look over the land itself of Barovia, over the wall, over the gate, and to the castle in the distance, there doesn't seem to be any disturbance. Are you waiting at the gates, or are you continuing on?
We see.
I mean, Savari's the one sees.
Oh, I mean, like, you all would notice it after it was pointed out, but Safari would very clearly see that there's, like, this whole area here of, let me do a line real quick, because lines and stuff. Let's go teal blue lines for the funsies. Freehand. Oh, come on, don't do that. Of course, it's not going to let me do what I want to do with it. Why do they even make these things a thing? Here we go. So, like, shit's going to hell in all the space around this, but not in this area.
Just not in this area.
This blue outlined area.
Oh, okay, everything there is normal. Okay,
Right.
got it.
So the castle's a safe zone.
At least for now.
Osgood's kind of like gonna look at the rest of the group. Could the castle be providing an opposing force? We know that the castle's alive, yes?
Maybe, but also it might be that Orcus is just, paying a visit. But
He's fucking with us.
Yeah, that he doesn't care about the rest of the land. He's not messing with the deal that he made with Strahd.
Unless the deal
sense.
prevents him outright.
Maybe.
No,
But then
that wouldn't
why
make
would there
sense.
be this
no,
kind of
no,
clause?
never mind. Doesn't make sense. Ignore that.
Keep on going then.
It's quite strange. I will say, you did mention to meet Esmeralda at these gates.
Oh yeah,
So you
that's
can
Oh,
continue to go further if
yes.
you wish, but yes, that was the plan.
Yes. She's gonna be another while.
well. Maybe this will be our time to make a long
Wow.
rest.
Not that long, but like a couple of hours.
Must
Maybe
take
not.
a rest.
No. Sorry, I'm doing maths in my head.
This is that video game thing. This is that video game thing where it's like, do you want to proceed? Doing this means you will not be able to return anytime
Pretty
soon.
much.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sorry. I play video games for a living. It's what I do. I apologize. Like,
I mean,
I try
Dude.
here.
yeah. To
I'm
be
the
honest,
exact same
we
way.
shouldn't go in without her because I don't think Strahd's gonna let her in.
Yeah, I get a feeling.
I
that,
mean,
Yeah.
it's up to you guys. I'd make the mention of the fact that this was the meeting spot you had mentioned. You can full well push on past it. I just wanted to make that mention.
I think we need to wait for
Let me
her.
roll for her real quick, see what she's doing. Oh, good for her.
He's
Good for
dead.
her doing things. No, an 18 is positive. It means she's not dead. Which might actually mean good things for you all.
Well,
Hmm.
Kelmo just hops off his thing and he just kind of sits at the foot of one of these things. He goes, "Well, made a promise. It'd be kind of messed up if we went ahead without her, especially if this thing locks us in."
I'm less worried about it locking us in and more worried about it locking her out.
Well, we'll find out when she gets here.
Quite possible.
Also, isn't part of the reason she's going is so that we don't take him into the castle.
Hmm.
See Strahd sees him.
Yeah.
It would make sense. I'm gonna think for a moment. I've already used the mansion today. Otherwise, we could use that. Yeah, maybe just hiding out in the forest might be one of the better ideas.
Right in the forest.
Just tucking in the forest for a bit. And as you all do so, is there anything you would like to do in your few hours of rest that you have? Would anybody like to talk to any spectral beings, make any conversations with anything, have any curious questions with the staff at hand? Make a plan or do anything like that. You have a couple of hours to do so as far as time in the world goes. Also, second question, are you making a campfire?
Campfire?
Feels like a bad idea. How many of
terrible
us
idea.
can't see?
Right now
3,
you've got
4,
Irene, Ismark, Mordenkainen,
Wicked. Oh no, you can see now.
what you can see.
Let's see.
I can't.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
You've got the eyes.
I
You've
don't
got
think they give me
goggles.
dark vision though.
They don't give them
Why
dark
did I
vision.
think they give him dark vision?
No, they just give them advantage on perception checks with
Oh,
visuals.
why did I?
Can
He had
my
dark vision earlier in the campaign.
I forgot. Can
Oh.
my sword have different variations, or is it once it's on, it's just bright light?
It can be bright or dim. You can increase it or decrease it by 5 feet on each of the radiuses. So you can
Okay.
make it dim light for 15 feet if you
So
want.
if anything, I could just have my sword out, sit in the middle of the people who can't see, and put it at dim. So that way, it's like a dim light.
And it would be bright light for all of us with dark vision then as well.
Yeah.
It's true.
And
You could definitely do that.
it won't cause smoke or anything. To signal that we're here.
Yeah, it's not the smoke that I'm worried about. It's the actual light.
Yeah. It's up to you guys. But that's a decision you can make. Does anybody want to do anything while you're resting? Doing stuff.
I'd
Also,
like to
roll hit
craft-
dice if you need to.
I'd like to craft a mutagen.
Okay.
Hang on,
Two
mutagens,
question.
if at all possible.
Are we counting this long, short rest? Short rest? If we're rolling hit dice.
Or as long rest, or are we just hanging out?
Long rest would be 8 hours, so if you're just hanging out, it'd be
Yeah.
a short rest if you want to take a short rest.
So I don't know if I can actually craft anything because it's all just long rest.
Savar is gonna cast Give Me with Nature.
Is your craft's long rest, really? For all your
Yeah.
potions? That sucks.
Yeah.
And Kamal, well, Savari's doing the commune with nature. Kamal also on the side, just kind of by the ones who can't see, he'll just kind of sit down and kind of start thinking, trying to see if he can get the attention of the Fanes again.
Trovik, you doing anything in this time?
Looking here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
While you're looking, I'm going to address Savari's commune with nature, and then we'll get back, okay?
Sure.
Because I want to give everybody the opportunity to do stuff and they want to do stuff. So you're doing the commune one more time with the bear, searching for the same things? Are you searching for different
Celestial,
things?
well, actually, fiends, undead, and influences from other planes of existence.
Right. Undead. Oh, it's 3 miles, right?
Yep, 3 miles.
Damn it. Um, oh, no, that's too far. Never mind. I'll do that. Blue are undead. Fiends and things are still the same ones that you had, and then planar disturbances are purple square. So give me 1 second.
Oh, God.
Um, Sorry. There we go. And that's not supposed to be there. Oh no, damn it. No. You come back. God bless it. I hate this thing so much. I'm sorry. DM stuff. You would see that. And you would see that. And all of that jazz.
Alrighty.
As your bear would come to you one more time. When asked, it would just give you these vibes, and you would feel in these directions, in these areas. You would sense a heavy presence of undead coming from the castle. You would sense a number of planar distortions coming from the south, as well as a massive number of undead in the south. And a couple signatures of undead to your north. And the fiends from the Bone Grinder, etc., are still plain in your vision. That is the hags, most likely.
Alright. I'll update people on positions.
Absolutely. Kelma, as you go to sit and meditate one more time, talk with defense. You would sit and pause and commune and wait and reach out. And after a time, the three would appear to you. The middle of the three would take the voice, but they would all be speaking to you, similarly to when the Seeker spoke to you and the other two had their hands on the shoulders. The same thing, except this time it is the Weaver in the front.
I just kind of look at them, just like, so, any last pieces of advice or wisdom? Or do you happen to know something that's going to help us out? I don't feel like dying anything.
Pauses and thinks for a moment, and then all three's mouths open and speak in unison. You just hear one unified voice. I want to see how I want to word this. Sorry, DM wording. Fun stuff. Hmm.
Hmm.
No, I'm trying to think DM-wise how I want to say this. I
Yeah.
apologize. I wasn't expecting
All
a
of
same
them
conversation.
just like outright,
Yes.
Pretty much.
You hear one word in your head. Noom! No.
Fades away.
No. The voice unified basically says, you know your strengths. You know your group's weaknesses. Utilize everything you have. Do not accept victory until it is absolute.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, that's what I was planning to do anyway. You have any other blessings for us? Because we're about to walk into some place that's probably going to block you, I guess.
You have all the gifts we can give in our reduced state. The rest is up to you, champion of Barovia.
All right. Well, if anything comes up and you think you can help in some way, feel free to speak up. I'm going to do what I do from there.
We will do our best. Goodbye, Kelma. And good luck.
Yep. Nice.
Trovik, was there anything you would like to do, sir? And Savaria, I'll ask you the same thing. Oh, you already did the astral thing, never mind. I apologize.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything.
All good? Alright. So, as you all are taking your rest, doing your communes and things, and having this time to yourselves, I need to see if this audio is going to work right. Audio, are you going to work right today?
Maybe.
I'd like to hear audio. Playing, because of course it's not.
I can filibuster if you need.
No.
Hey, I'm hearing footsteps. Cart and horses.
Rain! Oh, carts.
Rain
Those
carts.
rain.
It's raining carts.
I mean,
Oh god. You want an apocalypse? There you go.
Yeah, no.
So, as the night continues on slightly, a little bit of a rain does begin to fall. And at first you think you're hearing things in the silence of the night. But then it's more and more readily clear. You hear the sound of carts and horses in the distance. And it only takes a moment before you look out over the landscape and you see a number of lanterns in the distance. And the sound of a number of carts moving down the dirt road. As they begin to creep into closer view and the light begins to wind down the road and get closer and closer, you notice 10, 15 horse-drawn wagons that seem to have lanterns on the front of them. And they seem to be winding down the road, getting closer and closer
Does anything look familiar?
toward the gates of Barovia. From a distance, they look like carriages with two horses dragging each of them. Probably
Do
about
they
13
look like
to
the
15.
ones that took us to Strahd's castle?
And how far off are you right now from the crossroads? It's nighttime,
Oh.
it's distance, it's a mile off. Like you're seeing lights at this point. You
I'm
wouldn't
just
really
thinking
see
that the
anything until
eyes
they
of the
get within a
eagle.
mile.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, the eyes of the eagle explicitly state I can see up to like 2 foot across details from extreme distance. So
Right. How extreme is the distance is the question.
it doesn't specify; it just says extreme.
Interesting. Eyes of the eagle be damned. Okay.
Good job.
No, that's fair. So you with your eagle eyes would probably notice a very distinct outline of a black carriage.
So it is him.
But it's not just one black carriage. All of these are black carriages. As they roll up the road and get about within a mile of the gate and of you all.
Osgood looks at the rest of the group. I reckon we have guests, lads.
Good guess.
Nobody.
Or should we hide?
Nobody
guess?
evil. Nobody evil. It looks like it's Strahd's carriages, but there's 15 of them at least. I reckon this is either our raven friends or a large majority of our companions.
Well,
Well,
let's play on the
this
safe
complicates things.
Heavily, yes.
side. Should we hide? Maybe.
I mean, we are here on the pretenses of being friendly towards Strahd. I reckon we can sit here and be relatively safe.
All right. Come on, he just has his staff on his side, kind of like a walking stick, but he's at the ready.
Last time these carriages were around, we didn't get harmed.
And as the carriages begin to roll closer and closer to you, probably within 1,000 feet at this point, pulling closer, 800, 600, 400 feet, until they're right about in your range of actually being able to see what it is. And these are all Strahd's carriages, drawn by Strahd's draft horses. Every one of them almost identical looking, with a lantern on the front. Most of them without a driver. However, the carriage in front does have one person holding the reins. You all have seen this man many times now and recognize the right-hand man and servant of Strahd, Rahadi, as he leads this brigade of carriages right up towards you all and stops in front of you.
Friendly wave.
I'm standing next to Osgood, but with everyone else, I kind of wave towards the direction of what's his name, the wizard. Just kind of like peek away, like hide away.
Oh, he's already in the bush.
Okay.
He would not have popped out in this scenario knowing the stakes.
Yeah.
He was well hidden. Like while you all were off doing your thing, he is now out of sight.
Okay, good.
But Rahadin stops the carriage and
Wow.
addresses all of you. Well, it's a pleasure seeing you here. Means we don't have to go off in the world looking for you.
We are people of our word. We said we'd be here. We are.
My lord is a man of his word as well. We have gathered all of the guests for my lord's wedding. Esteemed guests, nobles, folks of Valaki. And we are beginning to make our preparations in the castle.
Oh, have fun with your preparations.
Pause it for a moment. Would you not be joining us then?
Oh, we'll be there. We're just gonna take a walk.
It looks like I'm going to have to help out being an ordained minister.
We're just
Radin kind of
waiting
pauses.
on one
You were not able
person.
A most esteemed guest, I would hope. You had no luck in
That's
gathering a
okay.
priest?
I am a priest. I always was. Literally. He pulls out a fucking sheaf of papers from inside of his coat.
Pauses for a moment. Very well. I will be sure to inform my lord that you shall be proceeding over the ceremonies.
He's better.
It'd be a bit
Trust me, I'm not
disappointing for
entirely
him.
sure. I'm not sure that Valaki's priest would have been too pleased.
Also, they would have been cowards. At least this old guy actually wants to help.
Fair.
I just want to see this done, mate.
As do we, my friend. We would all like to get out of Barovia. I know my lord is most anxious to be beyond these walls.
Mhm.
Be nice to see my homeland again.
I would love to see mine.
We will be making our preparations. Bring the bride. We will not drag her away from you. We have an agreement, after all. That said, we look to start tomorrow,
Fair.
just after the sun rises to its peak.
Right.
You all will be there, or my lord
Indeed.
will send for you.
Else we're gonna.
Like I said, we're just waiting for one person and we were going to make our way inside.
And you see him kind of snap his fingers. The doors in front of you guys that have been sealed and barred open and creak sideways as the carriages begin to continue on their way and roll through the gates of Barovia. You can see inside of the windows of most of these carriages. Only the first one was completely blacked out. Faces that you may recognize or may not recognize or may not care to recognize include Lady Wachter, her family, in one carriage.
Mm-hmm.
The broad but slender profile of one Vasily von Holtz, as well as a number of other nobles and officials. Another carriage does have Davian and his wife. I'm sorry, not Davian. Erwin and his wife sitting in the carriage, along with another carriage that seems to have at least possibly Solstar in the carriage. Seems like they've gathered just about everybody who's remained alive in Valaki for this
Oh,
occasion.
shit.
Looking through the carts.
Do we see John?
Do you see John? That's a good question. Do we see John?
Do we see Van Richten?
Or Van Richten?
If Erwin is there, they were in the blue water.
Yeah, he basically grabbed people from the blue water.
Yeah.
That's why I was wondering, because if the Burgermeister is with them as well, John was kind of acting it.
Her right hand.
Yeah.
You did not notice John in any of the carriages, but he might have been in the Burgermeister's carriage and you might have missed him. You're not sure.
Yeah.
But all 15 carriages make their way through the gates of Barovia. And as they do so, the gates slowly shut and close behind them. And you were left once again in the quiet, eerie silence. And as you look to the south, you see this massive black cloud that seems to be pulsing red in the center, growing ever larger across the distance. And another 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so pass as you're resting on the side of the road. Mordenkainen has now come out of the bushes, now that he knows the coast is clear. Well, I certainly seem to be preparing. I just hope whatever we do is enough. You sure your friend's coming?
Well, hopefully she'll be here soon. Unless she was in that cart.
Yeah, unless she was in one of those carriages.
And as to your earlier statement, I doubt anything we would do will ever be enough. But we just have to make do with what we've got.
Let's I look at Osgood, I go, hey, Osgood,
Hi.
get on my staff real quick.
Is it possible?
Yeah, you're light enough.
Yeah, you can fit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then we can look and see if we see her riding, because she should be at least on the way here by now.
He nods and hops on.
So I fly
and
up
the
and
two of you fly up and go.
And
make a perception check with advantage for me,
Sure.
Osgood.
Oh god, can I not give that to Kelma? What's your bonus to perception, Kelma?
my most perception is not. I thought you had eyes of the
Okay,
eagle.
I only have +2.
I thought you had eyes of the eagle that allowed you to.
They don't give him a
Yeah,
plus, they give him advantage.
It's
Oh.
advantage, yeah. Okay, so I have 14.
Okay,
You chose the wrong person.
Yeah.
It's all good. With a 14,
This was like to cancel out my low bonus.
yeah. As you guys are flying with the staff over the land, you would notice a singular silhouette of a horse off in the distance, riding in your direction.
That's likely her.
Does she look very far away?
Down the bend around the way, but she doesn't look like she's taking the road. She seems like she's hauling across the land.
She's not taking the road, but she's a little distance away.
Okay. I float on down and pass that on to everybody else.
And within 30 more minutes or so, you begin to hear the singular hoofsteps and footsteps of one lone horse and the slight jingle of her jewelry as she rides up towards your gathering. God, that was close.
Yeah. We just saw the carts, the wagons.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I managed to reach Van Richten, and while we were up in the Blue Water Inn in his room, and he was giving me the hat, and we were looking for Gaenor's spellbook. The carriages arrived in town. I gathered everyone in all the remaining occupied buildings. I managed to stow Van Richten. We did manage to get the spellbook. They took your friend.
Gaenor's been taken as well.
Indeed.
Kalma just kind of walks away, kind of pissed.
Wonderful.
She
So-
pauses. There was nothing I could do. It would have taken me as well, and then this would have never happened.
Yes, we understand. It's
I'm sorry. And she kind of says that in Kalma's direction.
this just complicates things slightly.
Yeah. Now we've got casualties.
What else is new?
I suppose we'll have to factor that. Ah, jeez. Well,
When
let's get this sorted and
she kind
find.
of takes the ring, or takes the hat, and kind of hands it over to the mage. I hope this helps. He kind of takes it for a moment and pauses.
That ruins the whole plan of getting the hat. Unless you can just make it look like anything, because I was going to say to look like Gaynor. It would be less suspicious for him to be with us.
Yeah. Especially if he starts casting magic.
Yes.
Could you not just completely change your physical appearance to somebody wholly unrecognizable?
I mean, I could. It's more so, do I get allowed in if I'm just some... He's paused for a moment and thinks.
We could claim you as some kind of important ally, captain of guard, perhaps, or something. Somebody who was left behind.
I mean, we really don't have much other choice at this point. God. I can certainly try something. And he puts the hat on, and you see the peppered gray and black hair of Mordenkainen begin to shift and change, as well as his entire physique and appearance, as he begins to transform from the humanoid wizard that you see in front of you to some sort of a half-elf, much younger looking, much more spry looking. Same general garments and things like that, but less robes and less regal and more like a adventurer's outfit. With a palish colored skin.
Hey, it's Gaynor's half brother.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's something. I don't know if Strahd would recognize who Rary is, so I might be able to get away with that.
Well, better than nothing. We'll find out when we get there.
Better than nothing's kind of what I went on when I approached the castle, so best of luck.
Oh, this is the worst.
To be fair,
Worst plan
I
ever.
went with peasants.
And
now
we
go
are
with
going
warriors.
in with and we have peasant potential casualties who won't even be fighting.
Did that as
We're no
insurance.
better.
Those aren't guests. Those are hostages.
They're cannon fodder.
Exactly. That's his insurance that we're not going to try something.
He hasn't ruled this land for 400 years without a plan. We just know that our adversary's smart. But we can still do this. We don't really have any hope of backing out now.
No.
And hey, if the ceremony works, then all the rest of this worry is for naught, right?
I
He
think
says with a half-hearted smile.
I think at this point we need to make sure that that she's protected at all costs, and get a feeling once we pass that barrier, everyone's going to know that she's here.
Possibility.
Including the one who's causing all the mess to begin with. Remember, as long as she's alive, the wedding can't happen. And all of her past iterations died, most likely due to influence of Orcus. So once we pass that barrier, we got to get her to that wedding.
Well, it's a good thing that we have 3 women here, including not including the bride herself, who can actually fight. So,
Exactly.
I believe her on what she's, ladies.
If there's ever a time to go at it, I say this is the time we go at it. I can say if any of us actually survive this, it will be one hell of an adventure and a hell of a story to tell on the other side.
I'll make sure to write the book personally.
Dying is no fun. It's no adventure. Let's get going.
Fair enough. And Irina and Ismark just kind of sitting on the side, still pondering. Irina is going to go over to Kelma. Do you have a moment? Can we talk? She kind of pulls you off to the side, out of earshot of most of the other group. I'm scared. I'm terrified of the outcome of all of this. If marrying him doesn't fix this problem, there is some demon binding to this contract or some craziness. I don't know. I'm nervous.
I put
I want to do what's best for this land, but I don't.
I put my hand on her shoulder and I just go, it is okay to be nervous. It is okay to be scared. That is natural. You weren't nervous and you weren't scared. Wouldn't. Then honestly, I would be that or think you're possessed. But if all you can do now is what's best for this land. Your father died protecting this land, his people. Your brothers went through torture. You know, it's only natural to be scared. But the key is now is to keep your eyes about you. Face this. Whatever whatever happens. Just know that we're all here to protect you, and we all consider you a friend now. I say to everybody around, nobody dies, because I've seen too much death even before coming here.
She kind of puts her hand on your hand, pauses for a moment. Nobody dies.
And your part is probably the most
Nobody
important.
dies.
And your part's the most important part of all.
I know.
Sometimes you got a fake bravery. Trust me. Behind my attitude of all this, I'm just a farm kid who happened to be trained how to fight in the middle of a mountain town. Now I'm here. Don't think for one moment I haven't been terrified this entire time.
Rest your hand on your hand once again. Thank you, Kelma. Thank you for everything.
No problem. Let's get back to the group and stay close to your brother.
All right.
Start walking back.
Yep. And as you all gather your things, gather yourselves, and set yourselves on the way into Barovia. The gates in the path before you swing open once again, creak open, and before you, you see the bleak and decrepit forests and plains of Barovia. The path splits just about a quarter mile forward, one going down into the valley back towards the town of Barovia itself, and the other climbing the crags and peaks all the way to the gates of Castle Ravenloft. So we'll begin your way up the dirt road. So we're going to take our break.
All right. So,
So let's do 10 minutes or 15 minutes. What do you feel? I need to use the bathroom really bad. So
okay. we can make it 10 minutes plus.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
All right. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks everybody. And we'll be back in a couple minutes. Enjoy this little music montage while we wait. And thanks, guys, for the support. And we'll be right back with more Curse of Strahd. All right. And let's go. Welcome back to the second half of Curse of Strahd, episode number 46. Yep. All right, back to you, MTC.
All right. So, as you all continue through the pitch of night, winding up the mountainside and the road to Barovia. Let's see. Fun stuff. That's not a good number. All right. Your horses and your carriage make it up easily enough. Not impeded by any of Strahd's creations or amalgamations. And now that you all are kind of on top of this rise and steadily climbing, you can look out over the landscape. The cloud is still swirling and forming in the distance that has been. Nothing's changed on that front. The portals seem to be opening in different locations. You have portals down here like you've had before. Another one seems to open over the lake itself, and more creatures begin to spew out and fly in the direction of Castle Ravenloft, but then they kind of veer off to the side and end up flying off this direction. The trek is harrowing, but you all have made it before. It takes probably another hour and a half or so to get up to the drawbridge itself.
Oh, by the way, just to retroactively.
Retroactively, yes, sir.
I handed my sword to Savari.
Mm-hmm, indeed. The sun sword?
Yep, the sun sword.
Got it. Okay. So, yeah, and just the traveling and moving of getting to the castle. It takes probably about an hour and a half, something like that, before you finally approach the large, menacing drawbridge in front of Castle Ravenloft. And let me look at a thing, because there's a description. I've already used it once, but I like the description, so I'm going to use it again. It's so much fun. Where's the gates? There's gates. There's gates. Yeah. So you are standing on the one side with the two guard towers, the large drawbridge in front of you, and then the massive stone gate with gargoyles affixed to the top of that in front of you as well. And inside of the wall, the gate stands open and ajar, waiting for you to come in. And the courtyard itself stands before you. Just in the distance, you can see a couple of the carriages seem to be parked in the courtyard.
All right.
Proceeding forward into the castle square itself. Let me do a map. I don't know if this will work or not. Or this is the map to use. All my maps. You know, being a DM is always fun. Dynamic light map. Is that it? That is it. And I need to do some editing on this page, but I'll do that while we're on this page because that's way easier. Here we go. Boom. Always be prepared, y'all. Ravenloft. And let's see.
I don't like what I can see.
I don't know what you can see, and that concerns me. You can see things you shouldn't see.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That was a random token from 7 sessions ago. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
No, it was. This was a test page for a lot of things. Like, this is literally
Cool.
my load page for everything. Apologies. Doop, doop,
I
doop.
still didn't like it, but yeah.
It's fine. You don't have to like it.
Thrown at us.
I didn't say you had to like it. I was just saying. Do y'all have all vision on this page, though, is the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, that sucks. I forgot that I made this page fully visible. That's cool. Apologies. All right. So you all would basically more or less be in the courtyard of Ravenloft at this point. The carriages off to the side, about 6 or 7 would be parked in the front in this courtyard area. You do remember that there was a stable house to the back side as well. And as you all would enter, I'm going to put you there. Because things and stuff. And his mark is here. Of course he is. Why is that not selecting his mark? And Irina and her are there. Sorry. All the stuff.
It's like Arena there. You got the Kynan. You got this.
Yeah,
this.
I know. I got it. Yes, it's called being a DM. It's almost fun. Mortimer, where you at? But he is disguised. Disguised. That is a hell of a party, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
However, the carriages that you do see people standing outside of them. Outside of one of the carriages, you would notice the Mardukov family kind of standing in a huddle. The two, Erwin and his wife, and then the two boys. And they seem to be huddling around Davian, the fifth. You would also notice that the two hunters seem to be standing and conversing with Lady Fiona Wachter and her family. Where's she at? She doesn't exist. Doesn't matter.
Can we now take stock? Do we see John, Gaynor? Who else?
Looking
Who else
around,
we
you
thinking of?
would see Gaynor.
Okay.
Is anyone around him or anything?
Yes, actually. Gaynor is standing off in the distance, looking off into space, and Yukama would notice that he's standing beside a very familiar man.
Yes.
One Rohan. Where's my Gaynor token at? Why did it disappear? There it is.
Who else do we need to keep track of?
Yes, name them and I will find them. I just have tokens for everything. I just
Yeah.
don't know who's here.
I'm just
I
trying
do
to
know
think
who's
of...
here, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Is there anyone else we were keeping track of?
Oh,
You have Irina's mark behind you. You have
Yeah.
Rohan, Gaynor.
we didn't see John, right?
You did not see John.
Ooh, that would be an interesting one. Do you see Izek? That would be interesting if he could help.
Oh, did we see Captain Asshole? Lord.
Captain Asshole?
Lord.
Yeah. Yes, him and Izek.
You would indeed see Vasily von Holtz.
Okay. So I'm still curious about that guy.
Oh no. There he is. You would see Mr. von Holtz. He's also with the hunters.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm sorry, there was another one you had mentioned.
Izek.
Ezek, yes. Ezek is not here.
Okay. Tracks. Cool.
But those would be the people you can currently see at the carts. There are more carriages that seem to have gone around to the back as well. That being said, you all enter and are almost immediately noticed by the group at the carts. Most of which are just going to notion to make a signal. Erwin would look at you all and kind of wave, but isn't going to come over to you all. After standing in the courtyard for just a moment, the doors to the front of the castle open, and out walks the lord of the castle himself, with his servant Rahadin at his side, Lord Strahd von Zarovich of Ravenloft. As he sees the group, you see a small smile come over his face as he raises one hand up and begins to walk in your direction.
Just gonna say that I'm over here.
Yeah, position yourself
I-
wherever you are.
Yeah, I would be sticking close to Irina at this
Mhm.
point.
Yep, for sure. Welcome back to Castle Ravenloft. I'm glad that you've upheld your end of our agreement so far. I was worried that you may have been planning something and would not show up here. I appreciate that you have come. And he kind of looks over the group. My dear Irina, I am pleased you have joined us as well. Hopefully, we'll be able to proceed with these ceremonies. And we can all live happily ever after, as they say.
Hmm.
Now then,
Kalmos is just staring daggers.
now then. Rahadin, if you would please begin getting the guests comfortable and acquainted with the castle. Keep them in the guest chambers until we decide where they are best suited. Make sure to have one of my wives check in on them, please. As Rahadin kind of nods and steps away slowly. Strahd walks up. So, you have returned with my bride-to-be. I do not see a priest.
I pull out a sheaf of papers.
And Kalma just points at Osgood. Like, this is the only one willing to do it. He's qualified.
Apparently.
Man of the cloth,
Plus
after all.
I am indeed.
we had also thought there would be less extra complications considering what we were expecting. I glance at the carriages.
Well, we all have our insurance policies, but I would like them to not be casualties if possible. However, I believe that a ceremony and celebration such as this should be witnessed by the masses.
Hmm.
However, the gods don't look over this land anymore, so an ordainment under them would mean little. However, a marriage under all the people. The old burgomaster would have liked it.
Don't you have a new one? That one probably likes it too. He seems to like you a lot.
This is true. She is quite fond of me. But anyway, for another time. So he kind of looks down to Osgood and kind of smirks. Minister, then?
Never thought that's how this would end up, but yes, indeed.
I assume you would want to hold this ceremony in the chapel.
Aye, of course, in the eye of the Lord.
And I can drop the pleasantries with all of you.
Of course.
You know, there will be stiff opposition. I can see it from the walls of my castle that this entire land is being swallowed.
Why isn't your spot being too? You're at the center of all this.
Kind of pauses for a moment. I mean, it's only a matter of time before they come for my castle. Sorry. It's only a matter of time before they come for my castle. The only thing I can think of is this demon wants to take everything from me before actually taking everything from me.
It
A
wants you to
trick.
suffer salt in the wound.
Land is all I have. I have no land and no life.
Insight check?
Make an insight check.
Based
Dice
on the simple fact that
rolls.
he told us that he wanted to be away from here.
Yep. It's suspicious.
Yeah. Okay.
He kind of pauses for a moment and then kind of catches himself once again. Whatever this is, it hasn't come here yet. We have enough time to possibly prepare for its arrival.
Sure. Well, let's first things first. We've been standing in the middle of the ring.
Indeed.
Get inside. I want to make sure that all of them, and I point to the group, I go, they stay along with us as well. They're guests. Treat them like guests, not hostages.
Most of the people here are capable in their own right. If necessary, they might put up just as much of a help to those around them as we would.
Interesting. Very well. You have my word.
Insight check that.
I'm so tempted to just meme on this, but it would so fuck up the situation. I'm not
Also
going
19.
to.
Seems like he's at least agreeing to your demands somewhat, that they would be taken care of. And I'm right at your hip the entire time. But they all would more or less be able to be gathered and moved and done. And yeah, I was about to say they could easily be brought with and accompany you more or less.
Sure.
He's not going to stop that. You all have so far done everything he's asked. He's an understanding man. Being said,
Ish.
Vampire King. But he kind of pauses for a moment. Well, the castle is plenty large enough. Let's get out of the rain. You're right. You can dry off by the fire. He kind of waves the rest of the group into Castle Ravenloft.
I suspect she's doing it already, but I kind of motion for Essie to always kind of remain hovering kind of behind Irina.
She kind of looks at you and nods. Oh my god.
And I just kind of look at Master Rohan, and I kind of glance at the hunters. I just kind of give them like a little look of like be aware kind of thing. And because out of that group, the hunters and of course Rohan and Gaynor, the rest of them.
Right. Fair enough.
I'm going to pull out a sheaf of papers and start sort of muttering to myself as if memorizing something.
Oh my goodness. All right, fair enough.
Reminding myself of what I've already got.
I love this. This is so good. All right. Yeah, and everybody would begin to make their way in towards the castle. Rahadin has already disappeared into the castle and gone off to do things because Rahadin stuff.
Rod's still just standing there.
Strahd has walked towards the door
I know.
and has opened the door, and the other door has opened behind it.
I just walked by the Bible. Kind of just standing there, just playing a little bit of a guard to the both of them as the rest.
Yep, easy enough. And Rohan would kind of catch you and Kelma, I'm glad you're safe. I didn't think that we'd be seeing each other again, if I'm being honest. I didn't think that I'd be dragged along with this lot.
Well, we weren't expecting you to be dragged. Either of you. Either the hunters. And I kind of lean over and I whisper in Rohan's ear, go, the hunters are, they seem like okay. Do not trust that lord. And lean back.
No, it's understood. Understood. He kind of like pulls you in a little bit closer. Do you have a plan?
So far, to go through the ceremony, there's a thing a little bit higher than that to stop this. And once that ceremony is done, I get a feeling that that being is going to try to interview. That's going to be our chance to strike in a way. If that makes sense.
All right. Well, I'll do what I can when I'm needed.
If you can do me a favor, if it's just, I get a feeling they're going to keep you, Gaynor, and the rest together. Like I said, keep Discord up with the hunters and pass on some information to them. Make sure you tell them not to talk to anyone else. The Burgermeister is on Strahd's side. Lord is full. Also might be on Strahd's side. Not as a jerk. He'll sell anybody. And go from there.
You've gotten us this far. Fool not to trust you now. We will make it home, Kelma.
Yes.
We'll be back with our people soon. He kind of pat you on the shoulder as you begin to walk off.
Yeah. Yes, I go. This is not the adventure I wanted. Thinking more of going to the Sword Coast. Not going to a place with Vat.
Who knew that crying boy would be doing this?
Not me. Kind of chuckle.
The
So-
fates. He kind of like nods firmly in your direction one more time. You walk on. And as Strahd leads you all into the castle, with everybody led into the main foyer of the castle, you notice the 4 large statues in the main chamber sitting idly by into the main actual base of the castle. I'm gonna be a pain in the ass moving all these people.
Their way to
I'm just
one
gonna
big.
group them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's just gonna take a minute. Sorry.
Oh, okay, you're moving. Cool. Yeah. Okay, because they're sticking with us. Never mind.
Well, it's good for him to kind of hide in the crowd too.
Yeah, I was more thinking Ismark.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ismark? You need him separate?
You don't need him separate. It was just my brain was going.
No, I mean, I was just moving
Good
everybody in like a bunch group
Yeah.
to get
Yeah,
them in
yeah.
the fucking
I know.
castle. After that, it can go wherever it goes. Boop. People.
There you go.
Savari whispers to Kamal, at least I can walk around as a cat now.
And that's true. I mean, and if anyone here is surprised, it is what it is.
Very true. But you all are welcomed in. Rahadin is going to be instructed to take all of the guests to the guest quarters on the next floor. And they would all begin to be shuffled up unless you want them to walk literally with you in the castle and demand that. He's going to take them off into the castle, at least for now.
No, I guess for at least for now.
But everybody does have the instructions that they had to make sure to stay safe and not do stupid shit.
Pretty much.
Keep everybody safe and do things. I'm just going to
Yeah,
put them up there out of sight for the point.
Exactly, and who to trust, who not to trust.
Exactly. Like you have well informed them of what to be wary of so they're not stupid people in a town. Being smart. Strahd kind of continues and walks and is going to push open this door. I feel like we're on the wrong map altogether, but that's okay. It doesn't matter.
We're in a magical
Because
adventure.
all of this lighting shouldn't be lit like this, but it's fine. He's going to continue to walk through the door, kind of like leading towards where the chapel is, since he's kind of showing Osgood, I think, where he was going.
Yep.
If I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Osgoodens, I'm going to drag you up here, guy.
Yep.
Or somewhere in there, yeah. And Trovik, we're going to move you in here, too.
Thanks.
Easier. Sorry. You all should be able to go by that door now, though. But yes, a long chamber leads down through the main part of Castle Ravenloft. I'm sorry, my descriptions of Castle Ravenloft are going to be shite. We've already done it once, so I'm not heavily describing everything over again. But long hall all the way down to these two massive doors. At the very end of the regal doors you've been through before that lead into the main chapel area. I'm really bugging because I think you'll have full visual and it bothers me. It's okay. I know. Basically, it would get you all down into the chapel itself, where Strahd would begin to show off his elaborate chapel. The pews have been set in the proper positioning and re-straightened. I just don't have an overlay for that, so apologies. But it is set up
Fair enough.
for the premise of having a festival or of having a wedding. I apologize. Wedding.
Festival.
Ceremony. Ceremony. Words.
Festival
Things. Festival wedding. All the Westings.
Jesus Christ.
Westivals.
Who's got the banners?
Festivus?
No. Sorry. There are a number of pews and benches set up in an organized fashion. There is the altar standing on the far wall. You have the two large stained glass windows and the second floor balcony that has royalty and nobility seating and things like that. You've been here before. You're familiar with this chapel at least a little bit. You've looked around it. Strahd kind of steps in. This is where we will have the ceremony, obviously. Now that we are somewhat alone, this will probably be interrupted.
Absolutely.
What I'm anticipating.
Kamal goes down one of the benches and sits down, puts his feet up on the edge of the other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a surprise. Things are going to go wrong. This never happens.
Well, I appreciate your understanding of the way Barovia works. I would simply say, yes, things will probably go wrong here. The ceremony itself, once completed, should break the contract and the binds for this land. Once that is done, I do not know what will happen next. I do not know whether the mist will disappear Whether the land will return itself to its former state, I have no clue.
Or whether it'll
Genuinely.
Insight
collapse.
check.
Make an insight check.
I
They're doing
don't
that.
trust him.
Yeah, you beat
What's-
me to the punch of that one. I was about to say insight check too.
As they're
That-
inside checking this strange
Oh no!
vampire
Ow!
man, Savari's
That was
going to wander around.
nearly a 20.
Yeah, I got
Um,
19.
I'll toss my plus
Statue.
7 into the ring.
Savari is remembering the statue with the strange dead man next to it.
God, I'm nearly as good as Kelma. Jesus.
Did we ever figure out what this is?
I don't think so.
You said that in game or out game?
In game?
Some kind of knight, I imagine.
Someone who
You
had
know
a ver-
Strahd.
He kind of looks over at the figure. Or that. He was trying to take one of my possessions. Did not fare so well.
I'm not referring to the man, I'm referring to the statue, Strahd.
The icon of Ravenloft. It is a statue that has been passed down for generations in my family before we came to Barovia.
I see.
If I might ask, since I am rather curious about your lands, where did you come from, Strahd?
What a question.
Were you Sword Coast like the others?
One second.
Gotta look up
What
your
a
shark.
question indeed. I must
yes,
go and consult my notes.
Yes.
Because I'm from San Diego. I'm like,
Yeah. Santa Monica Pier.
Santa Monica Pier.
man?
I really like surfing, but unfortunately it's so cold that like the water doesn't really work around here.
Exactly.
Doesn't really bother me. It's fine, I guess.
I know. Rod's become a surfer.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait, hang on one
Strahd's like
second.
fucking
I actually know where to
swimming
find
shorts
this.
and
Hold on, I'm
glasses.
sorry. There's 1,000 things in this book. I apologize. It's a good question, though.
Yeah.
Good for you with
Well,
good
they're
questions.
talking.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Anything you'd like to do while they're talking? Because I need to look up something.
Brandwin.
Not brand, man.
We, we have a book that we can write the details of a magic item down. Or any item down.
Indeed, we do.
You see
I-
what this does?
Oh. Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Sorry.
Could do.
Nimue thinking, not Brown thinking.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Where in the hell is this thing that I can't find? That's going to bother the shit out of me now. Because it talks about Strahd's land, and it's going to bug me that I can't see it.
This land is my
Right.
land.
Sorry. He kind of pauses for a moment. I come from lands beyond these. My father, King Barov, hailed from the neighboring lands in the Forgotten Realms. Or, not Forgotten Realms, I apologize. Near the Sword Coast.
Hmm.
We fought our enemies, we conquered this land. And this land appealed to me. So I brought my family here.
Interesting.
Oh.
It
Looks
would have
like
been quite pretty during the era.
Kamal leans on the back pedestal and he's like, so, what precautions have you taken in case things get interrupted? And what do you have in plan to do? I mean, all we know, and now I just sit on top of the table and go, he's been bossing you around. If he tries to interrupt the ceremony, are you going to fight him?
Pauses. Thanks for a moment. I am afforded certain protections in this castle. I have control over the things that happen in this castle. This is one of the most fortified places in Barovia.
That didn't answer the question.
The precautions in place. The castle lives. The castle defends. The castle has certain wards and enchantments around it. They would hold the creature at bay for a time.
And
My
what?
goal is to complete the ceremony. We do this. We are successful. As far as precautions, I have my servants and my wives doing what they can. The problem is being part of the ceremony. It is difficult for me to provide an adequate defense of my property.
So, again, that didn't answer my question. Now I'm just like laying on the table because I don't have any care or respect for anything that's going on in this place. I'm just like, I have my finger pointed up in the air. Go, if your wards fail, ceremony doesn't work. What are you? Then I point at him. Going to do? Because that thing is not going to like that you're doing this, and you know full well that thing doesn't like it. He doesn't. And if he gets past your wards, he's probably not going to be very happy with you. I mean, he's trying to take away all your lands right now. You've even admitted that. So, would you fight him if it came to it?
Yes.
Insight check.
Insight check.
Just put it out there. 22.
Nice.
20.
Nice.
Close enough.
Why does this feel like private messaging?
He rolls 3 deception checks.
Yep.
There's a third person rolling insight. It's Orcus.
Leave it to the undiplomatic one. Just to put it plain Jane.
I mean, yeah. You guys, I've been, yeah.
For all of our maneuvering, Kelmon's the one who's like,
what the fuck are you gonna do?
It's not like I had this whole like semi speech planned out in my head ready for this. It's fine.
Okay.
Shall we just leave it to you from here, Brandon?
Well, from here it's gonna be okay. So we're gonna put you there, and let's have you there, and
well, what's really
let's
come down
position
to
this to be our advantage.
Well, no, Bran was the negotiator. I'm the interrogator.
I mean, to be fair, she
so
can't insight
Kenobi.
for shit.
Yeah. Okay. And I kind of sit up and now I have my legs crossed. I'm like looking at him like, all right, got to ask.
I'm a warlord. Many battlefields over. I do fight my own battles.
I'm a peasant that lives in the farm. Warlords and nobles usually try to fuck people over. So
Not
better
all
to-
of them. I step and nearly elbow him.
I just look and go,
I'm a pirate.
Okay.
Does that work for anything?
I go, and I just go, all right, most of them, and not her. So
He kind of smiles, and you can almost see a fang peer out of his mouth. I do believe that this may be our best chance. This might be our only option. And if we have to fight, we have to fight.
We have one shot at this, and if we fuck it up, it's not going to be good for anyone. None of us.
let's just hope
Wait.
it works.
In which case, we should try to stack the deck in our favor, shouldn't we?
Agree.
We know the terrain. We know the fighters at play. Let's put our time to good use.
He kind of pauses for a moment. This chapel may not survive a heavy siege from the exterior.
It's a
He
chapel,
kind
I
of
doubt it.
looks around at the stained glass everywhere, and yeah.
Well then,
So, if it comes to a fight, what should we do? What would you do? He kind of pauses, and I have my wives, my servants, and my guard, as well as the living castle that could potentially help us out.
well, we have us and brought in more people that we know can fight. Would fight for us if we asked.
Some of them.
Some of them, not all of them.
Several. A majority.
About half of them.
Half is good.
But also,
I personally have things with my blood. Kelmar has things with his legs. I'm sure that we can make something work.
Someone just kind of looks over at Oscar with his head cocked, like,
I don't fucking know. You're a monk. Who the hell? I don't know martial shit. I'm a pirate.
Well, so if this will probably be our starting area,
Correct.
because we will
This
likely
would be
be
where
here.
it happens, yes.
Did Brandon write down the things in the book?
I haven't, because things were happening. All the things were
certainly
happening.
do if you wish, but yes.
I mean, we can have this conversation while I'm writing.
yeah.
It's true.
So you-
So
Easy
you begin to
multitasking.
write the statue in the book as Kelma's
Yes.
having his fun. So, the item, appendices, more appendices. That's not the appendix I need. Where's the item appendix?
18
There it
brackets.
is. Excellent. So the statue, as you begin to write in the features and description of it into the book. I need a statue that's a handout. It's an actual handout. They actually gave me a handout. Look at this, guys.
Nice.
There's a player fucking handout.
Woohoo!
Nope, there's not. I
Oh.
lied. I absolutely lied.
There's a player handout. Nope, psych.
What a DM. What a DM. Chapter 4 handouts. That's not good. Magic items. Oh, there it is. It is in a handout. Nice. Icon. Perfect.
Yay.
So, yes.
Hey. Icon of Raven.
Oh boy.
Requires attunement.
Oh.
Oh,
Only vaguely
interesting.
useful.
That's very useful.
Yeah. Which means we
The cure wounds part.
which means if we go
Looking at the other part before all the extra stuff that you get by attuning to it.
Bane of the Undead
Well,
makes it very, very useful.
If you say to the iconic
Specifically.
creature and dispense protection from good and evil. Oh! Protection from good and evil.
Fiends and Undead specifically. So that actually would be very handy against Orcus.
Mm-hmm. Except
You
Strahd
don't
would
have
be in the
to attune
radius.
to it.
maybe,
I mean, I guess Strahd would count as an Undead, wouldn't he?
Strahd is undead, he's a vampire. I am
Yeah.
counted as undead. Like,
undead light.
Are we undead? Truly?
I am
deep
undead
down
light.
inside?
And
However-
only just a sprinkle of undead in there.
Yeah.
But that is what the
Undead,
statue
zero
is.
sugar.
However,
It reminded me of the movie The Princess Bride. You're just mostly dead.
Princess-
Yeah. Diet Undead.
No, family. Oh. It's that. Okay. Carry on.
but yes, that is the item. That is what it does.
Cool.
So if someone's going to use
mean,
that item, who would use it? I would say we're going to have someone attune
Yeah,
to it.
anyone
around.
can attune to it.
Well, I mean, I would say if anyone, an NPC, I would say like Irina.
Valid.
Ooh.
I look at Strahd and kind of raise an eyebrow.
I mean, I'm just letting people read the book over my shoulder, so.
As it says, you don't have to attune to it to get the effect.
Okay.
Or does it?
Yeah.
It says requires
Mhm.
attunement by creature of good alignment. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, the good and evil you don't need to be attuned to it for.
Okay, for good and evil. Okay.
Is Strahd able to use that being a vampire?
Oh,
No, he's not good alignment.
if
like-
you,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the good and evil, maybe.
I mean,
Yeah, he can use protection
would-
from good and evil.
it would
Yeah, I
protect him,
doubt he
yeah.
wouldn't be able
But
to.
he would also be at a disadvantage as well.
Hmm.
So it's a double-edged sword.
That's
I
what I was
sort of
thinking.
glance at Strahd. How useful do you think this would be in the greater fight?
He kind of looks over at it, smirks slightly. It hasn't worked since it was put in this chamber.
Hasn't worked.
I mean, I'm standing here.
Valid,
She's standing
you are
here.
undead.
I think it
Of a
works a bit
kind.
differently
Yes.
than that.
I am standing here.
Is there a way
Hey,
that...
Branwen, try
well,
to
it
hit
requires
me.
somebody to...
I try to punch her.
I just accept the punch.
I mean,
Okay.
if
Actually,
if
she
you
has
do,
to
it's not
roll
going to do
for
any
it, though.
damage.
Does
So
0 damage, yeah.
Actually, I'll accept. her-
yeah,
I was about to say, if
I
you're
hit
gonna-
for 0 damage no matter
If you're
what.
gonna take the
so.
hit, she hits for 0 damage, yeah.
Okay, so I won't take the hit. I'll let her roll the hit because it's a
That's
disadvantage thing that we are looking
Mm-hmm.
for.
okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I try to punch her.
Roll your attack roll. Straight.
Just
Straight?
straight. Okay.
Yep.
And
Nice.
hers is straight. So will I need Rod to try and hit me?
21.
It always do 0 damage. So.
It does 0 damage, and you poke her with the poke.
It's very funny to be
Mhm.
punched by someone who does 0 damage.
It's equivalent like when like you're play fighting with an infant and they go, oh, and he just
Oh, that's cute.
I just look at her like, what were you expecting that to do?
I don't know. Straw, try and hit me.
Oh.
Oh
No!
god, you fool!
He kind of looks at you. That would be a bad idea.
How about I just...
When have we ever had good ideas?
Kama just like jumps off the thing. He looks at Sabari. He's like, and he just like does a quick karate chop
hitting
to her
me
shoulder.
is not going to do
That's
anything.
not
What?
what that. I count for the spell.
Oh, you
That's
count for the
not
spell.
what. Yeah, I'm undead.
Oh,
He counts as undead for the spell?
It says doing
I'm-
11 points of damage.
Well, if I count for undead for things like the area of effects with the fiends, I would count as undead for this.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
also,
true.
does someone have to attune to it? Maybe it doesn't just work.
No.
Okay, by creature.
That's
Okay.
what it says.
It just works.
it just works,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just giving it a shot. While within 30 feet, creature can be on good spells and fiends in the undead. Yes.
Okay, so it just doesn't work.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Pick it up.
All right. Never
Annoyed.
mind.
Sorry. Doesn't work.
So what we do,
I pick it up out of annoyance and say, why you no work?
What's your alignment?
I am neutral good.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey,
Nice.
I can pick it up.
As you pick up the statue and shake it and yell at it. It's a statue.
You're a bitch statue. I'll put it back.
put it back.
Statues. He kind of chuckles for a moment. Well, that was fun. Can't say I didn't tell you so.
Well, should we fight in here? Because if it's gonna get stopped here, or should we even do? Do we have to do the ceremony here? Maybe we could do it in a ceremony
was
that we have
about
better
to
battle
say-
advantage.
If you would like to relocate the ceremony, I don't see a problem with that.
Where do you think is the? This is your castle.
Pause it for a moment.
I was going to say, if we can set it in an area with a long hall or some other thing and branching off from it, if the thing breaks and it starts attacking, we can move back while fighting. If we have room to
Oh.
maneuver, it would be a good idea.
Options for people to be up with advantage to shoot downwards. Possible escape routes in this room.
Exactly.
He kind of looks
Well,
around the
I'm
chapel.
literally looking around the chapel and
Yeah.
pointing these out to Osgood.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
pointing them out to Osgood. It's like ranged up.
The chapel is a good idea.
He kind of pauses for a moment. One of the taller towers might be a good place. That's
We might get thrown off. Bad idea.
always a possibility. But
Mm.
we would also be. We could try the catacombs, but cramped spaces may make a disadvantageous for us as well.
Indeed. We would
Kama says something.
need to be able to
He's
maneuver.
like, oh, the place we weren't supposed to be.
He kind of
For a
pauses.
couple of reasons.
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures, Tiefling. But it is an option. The dining room on the next floor up is also an option. Much smaller in space. If you're looking to have the most area, we could do it in the courtyard.
Courtyard would work. It would provide a large open space. It's not very enclosed. There's the only issue that I would say with that is the possibility of whatever the hell is coming, summoning demons from the sky or some shit.
Well,
Well,
I pointed the glass pane window. I'm like, fly through this window.
Valid.
yes, aerial attacks would be a problem pretty much
No matter
everywhere
where
in this
we are.
castle. I look at
Right.
high ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think personally it's either the courtyard or the church. What do you guys think?
What would you think would be more defensible party? Any inputs? Anybody?
In game or out of
suggestions?
game?
Either or. We can have an out of game if you guys want to talk and discuss,
Let's
or we can
all
have
see,
an in game. So you got 5 minutes. If we need longer, we can do longer.
Cards down, lads. All right. So,
Hey.
what I'm personally thinking is the chapel's a good place defensively. We can figure out ways to protect or sanctuary this area. We can make it so that we have a lot of traps along these walls and on these doorways. We can figure out a way to really easily blind box the enemy into a specific path here.
Yeah.
The courtyard would be nice because it's a large open space, but attacks from above and in front would be pretty common, and if we're not careful, we might have things behind us. With the chapel, we have open windows that are directly towards the hallway. They would be coming at us, if anything else, and we wouldn't have to worry about attacks from behind.
Yeah.
But also, how this area fare, or if there's any of these creatures have any AoE.
Very fair point.
Yeah.
That's why something like the courtyard would be nice.
Yeah. The problem with indoors is AoE's limited space.
Brutal.
Potential of having to fight backing up.
Yep.
Because we might end up with a freaking choke point here.
Yeah, but at the same point, in that same token, if we use that area as a choke point ourselves, we could actually do some serious damage.
Yes, we could. Pros of this area, we can have... Well, I would be the only range because Osgood would need to be at the altar, which is bad.
I can figure out some stuff.
I mean, what I'm saying is
Ceremony.
So if we were here,
Valid.
so if we're in this room, we'd have probably Strahd and Irina here, or here, Osgood here, or here. Which puts Osgood directly in the line of whatever the hell is coming through stained windows.
125 HP, I can tank a few hits if you need me to.
Okay.
When it
That
comes
gives
I'm gonna do
me a
this
sniper box.
just because this will be fun for everybody. I think. If I can find that map. Of course, I can't find a map when I need to find a map. Bastard.
so
I will carry on saying what I'm saying.
Yes, Karen, saying
Right.
what you're saying. I'm
That
moving you
gives
guys.
me a sniper box up here,
Yep.
and us a road of exit potentially for civilians, either here or here.
What I would recommend is also have we should probably maneuver the benches or pews towards those exits rather than sitting them in the center of the room.
What we can do,
So we
I'm
have an
assuming
open
that these
space.
are in 2 rows either side of the central area with 4 benches. We could have
Of
the
course.
fighter people on the main aisle and
Yep.
civilians closer to this exit here.
That would give us a good opportunity to get enemies
Yeah.
allies right into the fight without
Yeah.
any real delay, which would be pretty useful.
Okay, but that's my analysis of this room. I don't know if anyone else has anything else they want to point out.
So just
To hear all opinions.
so I'll ping everything real quick. So
Yeah.
Strahd and Irina are gonna be there. Osgood's gonna be
Mm.
in one of these squares.
Yeah,
You're gonna be in the sniper area, like up here.
probably.
We're gonna put maybe say all the people we care about, NPC wise here, and maybe have Rohan and the hunters play as the watch out guards.
Yeah, if we put them like right here by
So
the
Can I
in
move you
this
guys
sort of
on
scene.
maps?
I'd even
without
just say
screwing
right
you guys? Just for a different perspective for a second, or is this going to mess you
Yep.
up? Never mind, it's going to mess you up.
I mean, is it?
Not really. This is the ISO. I was trying to see the. Never mind. Don't worry about it. You're good. Keep going.
Okay, so have the NPCs that we like here. You're gonna be here. Where would
NPCs that we like.
where would Trovic be?
Probably right up in the middle with the rest of whatever
Yeah, you're
NPCs
gonna
we
want-
have around here.
Trovik, Savari, Kelmar, probably here.
I was
Oh,
thinking.
here
I
is
was
We want them to
where.
jump
I was
in.
thinking that have.
Here.
I was thinking to have myself maybe next to Osgood and Savari next to
Yeah.
Irene, because if let's say they bust through that window, Savari could grab Irina and do you do the cape.
By the way,
My other
just
questions is, this is stained glass here, right? And this is stained glass up here.
all 3 of these, all of these,
Yeah.
this entire wall.
So we-
Basically, that's what I was going to shift to show you. Is I'm going to move the camera
This-
right quick just for you guys
Yeah.
for 2 seconds, just so you can see the exterior of the castle and what you're working with.
Yeah, I thought so. We've got
Oof,
multiple entry
that's brutal.
points, is what I'm. Yeah. What I'm seeing is
That's
we have
actually
multiple entry points,
dangerous.
and that's why I'm saying to put them in the middle, because they are then you guys
Yeah.
are directly in the line of anything comes in from anywhere. They
Yeah.
have to get you either have an extremely quick to it, or it has to go past you to get to Irina.
Yeah.
Yeah, the middle would be a good idea. Think about this and like you
Wicked
play Final
Blueness,
Fantasy
any
14.
suggestions? Any inputs
Yes,
to
please.
add and help, please?
Yeah, please.
I'm moving everybody
Alright.
back on the old map.
So-
There we go.
Like, this is just the one area.
This is
isn't,
one
like,
option,
even
yes. The other
courtyard.
option would be courtyards, which would be the exterior of the castle, either south, east, or west.
Well, if they
The
come in
courtyard-
here,
Sorry. One at a time. Let's do Wicked first and then Blueness.
The courtyard would be better for me, but worse for everybody else.
Right.
But to be honest,
so?
you're going to be you, Savari, Kalmar are going to be our big hitters.
But we
So
also
you're
need,
the guys that we need to.
but we also need to have room
satisfy.
for. We also need to have room for Trovic to do his thing, just in case.
Yeah,
Right, I can only move around so much in the chapel.
yeah, that's the thing. That's the major con of this, of the chapel.
But at least it closes the enemy in with me as well, though. At
Mhm.
least.
Yeah.
It also means that if Trovic goes a little batshit crazy, though, we're all trapped with him.
Well, you.
Well, hopefully there's enough around to buffer that.
Yeah. So make sure you also have your calm emotions, and I'll hold on to that noom just in case my last one, unless we get a rest.
Let's see what Brutus thinks of this, and maybe we should think of what we
Yeah.
would do in the courtyard and sort of compare.
Yeah.
For sure. Blueness?
well, because if they don't come up from behind us and come from the windows, we're all fast enough to move from this area without a huge issue as well. I don't know.
Yeah, because I foresee this happening. I foresee, like, I'll put little pings because there's all those windows. The ceremony's going to happen, and all of a sudden we're going to get a couple monsters, 2 monsters here, 2 monsters here, probably another 2 monsters here, and then whoever Orcus sends or himself probably just show up, bust on through the main window right here.
Yeah, at that point we'd be surrounded.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't, because we couldn't be surrounded. The only way we could be surrounded would be if they came in through here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
We'd
here.
have an option to escape.
And here.
Yep.
We have 3 modes of escape if we're not
Yep.
including dashing out through windows.
but this,
And
well,
those
we could
spiral
literally just
staircases
jump
and
out the
etc. do lead to towers up and below towards the catacombs and further
Yeah.
up to the heights and second floor,
We
etc.
know where this one leads into here. We've been through this one.
And the other one leads up to the balcony.
And we know, that
Isn't
this
this
one
ju-
is up to the balcony.
yeah, but say this is just, that's where you're gonna be. That just leads to the not an escape route. This is
I thought there was another way out to the balcony.
There is.
Oh, there
it's on the
is?
next
Yeah.
floor. Balcony
Could
has
go
entrance
out
doors and
hide
stairs.
deeper into
Oh,
the
okay.
castle if we need.
Fleeing into the
If we
castle would
couldn't
be
get-
a definite option.
Yeah. So if we couldn't go out and get people out, we could get them deeper in.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Definitely one option.
We have a
Other
lot of
options
options
possible.
here. I don't know.
You
man.
do.
There,
Other options possibly presented would be the courtyard, which gives you more open space and things like that. However,
Yes.
that would reduce your options as far as escape routes and things like
Getting
that, depending
people
on
away.
where things come from, etc., etc.
So if we
Castle
did
walls
use a
offer a unique
courtyard,
option. Yes.
we have castle walls. Is there a courtyard
Oh.
that would have multiple ways into it from the castle?
Let
we
me
could do the
find the full
inverse.
over because that would be probably easier. This one, you all should be able to see this. If you can't see this, I'll make it light. You
Yeah.
can't see this, I'll make it light.
See it.
You see it?
I see us in the middle
I
of a...
see a courtyard. And black.
See,
Here. And here.
There we go.
Yep, I
Okay,
see
there it
thing.
is. Nothing's a
Ah,
shame.
right.
There's the
So
courtyard.
we could...
So this right
Okay.
here is your church, basically.
Yeah.
Size-wise, for positioning, for everything to make sense.
Okay.
Basically, you could do just about anything inside the walls, picking one of the 3 courtyards you have available.
We could choose that back courtyard where, like, we could choose the entryway here and just have like a big ass area to maneuver.
What I'm just trying to work out is where are the ways from the castle into each of these?
So, this is... sorry, let me get to my
Because
pings.
we've got the main doors here.
Right. So main doors to the castle are here,
Somewhat. Okay, yeah.
under the actual wall and castle thing. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Because where our
So
party
this is
right now is the
a
bridge.
gate that leads from one courtyard to the other. These are small openings that lead from one courtyard to the other. The entrance to this courtyard can be reached from the castle or by these 2 spots. And there's a barn or stables or carriage house up here in this top area.
How do we get to here?
Where? Through there would either be by this archway or this archway. I don't believe there's a southern
Okay, so
entrance
there's
on
no
that
like
wall.
No.
exit way open.
No. But
Right.
potential secondary place if we would need to take the fight out of our enclosed chapel.
Because this would be probably the most well defensible area.
I mean, in
Almost
theory, if you're
immediately.
feeling ballsy, there's a window you can jump out of. But
Yeah.
That's literally what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
like, if it
That's what
comes
I
to
mean.
it, that's how you
If
flee.
we- if-
Both courtyards on the sides could be reached by windows, theoretically. So
That's
if you
what I'm
went north
saying.
windows
If
or south
we're-
windows, you had options. Yes.
If we did start in the chapel and we get people coming in through the windows, we could potentially just go, nah, and go outside through the said
Mhm.
windows.
Right. Now this doorway that is up here is the same one Savari exited out of to exit the castle the first time, so she knows where that is. That is easily accessible from the floor below. Does that make sense?
Is that a potential?
It's just
flee
a
in
like
the
servants'
case of
quarters,
a-
entrance, exit type thing with the staircase.
So
and
my
some other stuff.
question then is that a in case of emergency exit? Well, we could, if we needed to, send Rohan, Gaenor, to the Mardikovs and get them
possible.
out of Castle Ravenloft entirely.
Could do. All viable options. Again, anybody with inputs and strategies and stratagems, more than welcome to. This is your... You can play. I can put you back inside if that would be more helpful to you now. Whatever you like. It's up to you guys. Just let me know.
Up to you guys. I think I've said what I need to say.
That's fair. If nobody else has any more inputs, you're going to get back to the castle itself and get back into the things. Cool dealio. Wow, it is so hot outside. What the hell, man?
Dude, it's 42
Yeah, it's a
degrees
hot
Celsius
day.
outside.
It's ridiculously hot. It's hot everywhere.
Meh.
End of the world, lads.
True. That being said, you all are obviously back in character in the castle now for the most part. Strahd's kind of giving you the overlay of ideas of places to go in the castle, we'll say. I'm just going to retcon that because I'm not going to explain all we just talked about as Strahd. Unless you feel the need for me to. The chapel is less defensible but has more escape routes. Courtyard is more open, but probably get a cleaner fight out of it.
The chapel is the more tactical. The courtyard is we need to
Let's just tear shit
unleash
up.
big guns. Yeah, let's
Sure.
tear shit up and see what happens.
I mean,
Um,
I think that either
Because-
works for us, honestly.
yeah,
True.
could. Because if I really wanted to, I could just get up on one of those castle walls.
There's an idea. Take my pistol. Start
I
making
don't
pot
need
shots
it.
with both of them. Huh?
I have crossbows with infinite
Crossbows
ammo.
and then pistols as well.
Infinite animal crossbows. He's shooting and shooting and shooting.
You can just live up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm But that being said, Strahd, having kind of given you all the lay of the castle and telling you the things that he feels you need to know, would have shown you the second floor balcony as well. Would point out that spiral staircase goes both north and south. South into the catacombs, north to the next floor up, and further on through the castle. Which you likely already knew, but he's going to explain it to you. Strahd, what else are you doing, buddy? My brides will be watching the perimeter on the edges of the castle. So at least hopefully we will have an early warning system. My servants are not of much help, but they know the secret passages of this castle well. Should our guests be in danger, they would likely be able to provide easier escape routes and better places to hide them in the castle.
All right.
He kind of looks out, not out the stained glass, but towards the stained glass. We only have a short time left until the sun rises. And the day breaks.
Is there a way to barricade these stained glasses? Just in case they try to fly through?
Kind of looks up at the tall, 10, 15 foot tall panes of stained glass, of which there are probably 12 or 13. Thinks for a moment. The magic I have, the abilities that I possess, we might be able to change the terrain of a few of the windows to seal them up, but probably not all. Possibly two at most, in the time we have.
What about the north side? That would mean that we could have only two possible entry points here and here, and a possible secondary field if we need it. I ask everyone.
Sounds fun.
Perfect, Sarai.
Oh, Trovik looks like he's thinking to himself. Takes a lot of concentration to think.
Yeah.
Lefty's just fucking like he's
Oh,
just
God.
planning things out in his head.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
I'm like,
believe it.
everything.
I believe it.
Yes.
Well, does seem like there is a modicum of a plan in place. This is good. We do stand a chance.
Ish. Let's not get cocky. This is a lord of the nine hells. We need to at least.
A word of
We
our
need
soul.
to. Aye.
I think that if we act quickly and you are successful in your ceremony, that we may be able to avoid the worst of this. At least I hope. But I will have Rahadin ready my blade, preparing for the worst. He as well is a competent fighter.
That at least is comforting to know.
May do well to have a conversation with him, General, as he kind of looks over to Trovik.
Trovik nods.
You might put your military minds together and come up with something unique. Who knows? It's better to use all the resources at our disposal. You know,
Indeed. I look at him
it
pointedly.
is fate and fortune that such capable hands were brought into this land. Kind of smiles. Steps back a moment.
If I were on a ship, I would have been a lot more useful to you lads, but I suppose being landlocked has taught me some things.
Kind of pauses. I'm going to continue to make preparations and retire for the evening. The same room will be available to you, as well as other guest accommodations in the chambers. We sent the carriages to get everybody here, so we would not be scrambling. Granted, that was to make sure you came as well, but now that they are here, we must keep them safe. They are Barovians, after all. You can stay in the guest quarters with them or in rooms by yourselves. But I must prepare for tomorrow. Get everything ready on my end. And I will leave you if you have no further need of me.
He nods.
He turns and walks out of the doors, and then kind of snaps his fingers once he's on the other side of the doors and begins to walk down the hall. And you see the other side of the doors on the far side open up, and Rahadin walk through them, kind of stop at Strahd, and they stop, have a moment, and have a word, and then Rahadin continues on towards you all as Strahd walks out the other door and disappears into the throes of Castle Ravenloft. As Rahadin walks up, cold, calculating, he walks by the ladies and into the chamber itself, and just stands there with his hands folded slightly in front of him. All of you in the room, standing within 30 feet of Rahadin, can just hear the wails and screams and squalls and shrieks of sorrow, fear, and pain. It's very faint, but you can hear it in your mind, and it just kind of echoes and doesn't ever stop. As he stands there and looks at you all. Quarters have been provided for you. I can take you to them whenever you're ready.
Kamal just sits up. He's like, "Oh, are we ready to rest for a while, or?"
Yeah, I could use one.
I guess.
I just kind of look at him. I can't remember. We remember that he's a. No, never mind. Ignore me. I'm trying to remember things and failing. It's fine. It's fine.
Are you trying to
It's not
remember,
important.
family?
He's Strahd's general, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I guess I look at him and say, "Well, would you like to be informed of the plan, General, or would you prefer to get it from Strahd?"
I would prefer not to bother my master after he's gone for his slumber. So, if you have it, please, explain.
I fill him in.
He pauses, thinks about it. It is smart. It makes good sense. Locating the north wall, the magics. Using the southern courtyard as an overflow. The peasants, the commoners, would be able to escape into the catacombs, which are far better protected than most of the castle. He thinks for a moment. If they breach the castle from behind you, could be problematic. I can position some of our staff to at least attempt to guard that area for a time. I could lead that charge. At least lead the defense in that area. If you were to get out into the courtyard, he pauses for a moment, thinks. Elevation would be your greatest ally. If they have flying creatures, those on the elevation would be in danger. Curious to... I don't think most of the common folk would be able to help out in that regard. Probably better just to hide them.
Hence one of those 3 exits.
Right. You said capable hands in the crowd. Positioning them nearer to the fray would probably be smart. If we could have people get to higher elevations after being in the chapel, that might give us an edge in the courtyard if it flowed out into there. Just pauses for a moment and thinks again. I wish this castle were more useful for
Defense.
its offensive capabilities instead of just its defensive fortitude. It lives, it breathes, it shifts, but
Could
it
we
does
not
not fight well.
Could we not get it to shift itself so there are viable ways to get up onto those upper balconies from here? Finding ways to add additional escape routes.
Thanks for a moment. I don't know. Is that powerful? He's kind of like mumbling to himself. Guess the castle could shift, making the ramparts more accessible. If somebody could operate it. Would take somebody out of the other equation, but in theory, I know how to do it.
What kind of
Strahd's
somebody
brads are
to operate
capable.
it?
Can any of you play an organ?
No, unfortunately not me. I'm just kind of curious because usually I give my characters
Okay,
some manner of
so
instrument.
GM, I have a shit ton of performance.
You can certainly try.
Brainwind becomes the fucking mech operator of the castle.
I mean, I have advantage on performance checks.
That'd be
You can
pretty
certainly
fucking
try to play
badass.
Strahd's organ if you wish. Radine would definitely
Phrasing.
attempt to lead you to it.
Oh
no, I know my
jeez.
phrasing, sir. I will leave it the way it is.
I reckon that what it's going to be is it's going to be a matter of whether or not the castle accepts you.
Hi, I'm part vampire.
Yeah, but you're also kind of, sort of, only on a temporary truce with Strahd, so I don't know if it's like
I've never been against Strahd this entire campaign.
He hasn't.
I don't know what
It's
you're
true.
talking
If
about.
anybody's going to play an organ, it's
I don't
Branwen.
know, man.
I feel like that
Yes.
might also take Branwen out of a fight if she's playing an
It
organ.
would.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It would.
He kind of looks over at you all.
Oh, I have thoughts.
You
Okay.
have thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Conversations for a minute. conversations are a bit like that.
Okay, fair enough. He pauses. Could do to possibly shift the staircases on the ramparts. I don't know about forming the castle much more than that, but something would be better than nothing. I don't know if Strahd's wives are skilled enough, but ideally somebody who could get to the dining room fast enough and still be able to assist would be ideal.
Stares at Kilma. Your mentor is quite fast on his feet, is he not?
Yeah, but you want him to play an
Hold
organ?
it to him. I don't know. What's Rohan proficient in, Kelma?
I don't know, kung fu.
You make a whole character sheet. No, but possibly.
It turns out fucking Rohan's a concert pianist. He's just like one of the best
The more
pianists
you
in the
know.
game.
You didn't bring Rictavio. For shame.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fucking
Yeah.
Rictavio, god damn it.
I mean,
The entertainer performer of the group.
yeah.
Yeah.
He pauses. Regardless,
What
if we can shift the ramparts, we
Esmeralda?
can
Like she's his pupil.
His pupil is a monster hunter, not as a.
No,
Well, I figured that
entertainer.
that she would have like went along with his ruse.
Crazy
well.
gimmicks, possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Let's leave it to dice, because dice are fun.
I have other ideas if this isn't.
I know, there's many ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Might be able to. Could at least give it a try.
For one, I'm not sure if I would even need it if it's for me to get to ramparts.
Right.
Because if I just memorize the whole pattern correctly, I can get from the balcony to the ramparts in 2 rounds.
Well, absolutely. You could get there fast enough with your sprint and move. I was thinking, in case you wanted to get NPCs up on ramparts. If it got outside.
Yeah.
That was why I was talking about shifting ramparts. Realistically, you could fly up to ramparts with fucking Kalma shit. You know what I mean? Like, in theory. It's not hard. Like, y'all have ways to get up there, and you have people that can turn into bats and shit. It's not out of the realm. And you have a dimension door cloak. Like, if y'all need to get up top, you can get up top. I was just saying. For other factors, it's something that could be done.
I'm trying to think even, like, what NPCs would need to get to ramparts that if we were thinking ramparts wouldn't already be there.
It's true. And that's the thing, again, if they knew the routes, they could flee through the castle and get there, you know what I mean?
Me, Mordecai's, and potentially hunters.
Kynan.
Maybe Osgood.
I'm going to correct you on that one more time. Kynan.
Kynan? I can't say his name. It's a long name. It's
I know. Nen, not Sen. You're good.
Yeah.
But, yes. Potentially you could play the organ and get the things to do the thing. Rahadin kind of looks over you all and over to Trovik. And around the rest of the group to everybody else. If I can station my forces in the main chamber, main hallway, we can catch most of what would be coming in the front gate or down the stairs if they do breach the castle. He kind of looks over. I do not like leaving my lord's life in other people's hands. If I had my way about it, I would be by his side, not in the room adjacent. Do not let him fall. Kind of looks over to Trovik. You would not let a general fall in battle, would you?
Trovik looks like a stone minotaur.
Stone minotaur.
Trevor uses substitution jutsu. He's elsewhere now.
As in, like, he's not.
Yeah, he's not saying anything, just stone faced. Yep. I gotcha.
Right.
Fair.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well. I'm gonna pause this for a moment. If you'd like me to take you to your rooms, I can. If you'd like to explore the castle, my lord has given you free reign. Come up with a plan. We will wake everybody around the same time and begin preparing for the ceremony.
Okay.
And he just kind of steps back and stands at the door, hands clasped in front of him and waiting. What do, guys?
Sleep.
Rest, prepare,
Sleep.
sleep, do sleep. Okay.
Sleep.
Sleep.
So as you all are
Sleep.
taken to the chamber with all of the remaining guests that have been set up on a number of beds in a servant's quarters. It's kind of a tight pack. Radin, as taking you there, looks to Irina, looks to Ismark. My lord has separate quarters for you. Irina kind of looks a little bit confused at that, and Ismark's just kind of blank staring at it. But I feel I'd be more safe here with my friends.
He stays here.
He stays here. We go with her. I look pointedly at him. I motion to Savari, me, and Esmeralda.
But of course, whatever the lady wishes. He looks at Irina as he says this and kind of nods and opens the door to the guest chambers and motions Ismark and the rest of you gentlemen in.
Yeah, I'll do the thing.
And then once you all are in, he will shut the door behind you. He will look at Branwyn, Savari, Esmeralda, and Irina. Well, shall we, ladies? He takes you all to a rising staircase that leads to the a room in the hallways near Strahd's main chamber on the floor above. And you're escorted
was
to a
expecting.
large, lavish door. And he puts his hand to the keys and opens the door from the exterior and opens up into a medium-sized room. Lavish reds and blacks and purples, velvets coat this place. There is one large queen-size bed with drapes, almost like gossamer curtains coming off of the sides of it. A small fireplace in this room as well, and a number of lavish lounge chairs decorate the room. As he kind of motions the four of you inside with his hand. And as you enter into this room, he kind of smiles, nods. I do hope you find everything you need in here. We will do what we can to give you all some peace. And he kind of begins to shut the door behind him. And the door closes and clasps. And the four of you
Oh, I
are
hear a
now
lock.
in a secondary bedroom. Make a perception check for me.
Oh, come on. I have a passive of 21.
You do have a passive of 21. That's a great roll for a passive of 21. Jesus, woman.
I know.
No, I know. But your passive is 21. I'd say you don't need it to know it. You do hear the door lock behind you. And
Well.
as it is now 2 in the morning in Ravenloft, and you all have potential rest to get to, you have a locked door in the ladies' room. The gentlemen are in the room in the guest quarters with Rohan, the Mardikovs, both male and female, a number of townsfolk. The Wachter family is not in this room. Neither is Vasily von Holtz.
Interesting.
But the Mardikovs, the hunters, and the remainder of you bunker down on the stone slab floors of Castle Ravenloft in the small makeshift bunks and beds of the servants' quarters. Does anybody want to do anything before they go to bed, rest, or immediately when they wake up in the morning?
I memorized the
Yes.
1549 prayer book.
Fair enough. You would know all of the things that you need to do to perform the proper ceremony and rites.
Savari would attune to the sun sword.
Absolutely.
I would like to give Savari. Yeah, let's do it. The potion that I found, Mother Knight's Embrace.
Aww. What's that?
It's an armor and it's an item, and I'm just gonna give it to you and say it's either you or me that can use this, and I think it would be more useful to you.
I'll take it.
Okay. You take the embrace, yes.
Brenwyn, I mean, what about that poison? Would that come in handy for anything?
Which poison?
The one that really crazy one that I got from the shopkeeper.
Ridiculous paralactic.
Oh, probably. I mean, I'm probably gonna use that.
I was like,
Where is it? I'm trying to find it.
Hmm.
Oh, is it that one? No, it's not that one. Where is it? Boots, braces. That a root. Continue. Oh yeah, I see it. I see it. Poison. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna use that. Is anyone else doing anything else?
Anybody do anything else?
Because I do
Always
have a
like to
thing
check.
that I want to do as well.
You have a thing you want to do as well. Trovik, Savari,
Yes.
anybody do anything else?
Sleep time.
Sleep time.
Then being attuned and not taking the potion, but like having it in my hand in my inventory.
Cool
Nope,
deal.
nothing.
Osgood, are you
Or
doing
try
any
to
last
speak
minute
to
prep?
me.
I guess like Osgood kind of thinks a bit, and he's like, offering a prayer to the Dawnfather instead of a vampire's castle probably isn't the best idea. Lord of the Third Hell of Vistus, I pray to you to bless, ensure the
mumbling
safe
this out
passage of my
loud?
companions. He's muttering
What?
to himself about he's
Oh.
like, okay, well, I'm offering a prayer to a god. That doesn't work. So maybe talking to another person might work. And he's sort of muttering to himself under his breath as quietly as he can.
Okay. As you mutter to yourself under your breath and begin to possibly pray to some vile
Weirdo.
abomination of a non-god, your prayer might have helped.
Maybe. Might have fucked us all over. I don't know.
Out of all the praying you've done and seen in this land and everything else, and whether it comes true or it doesn't, you're well aware that the act of prayer makes you feel better on the surface, at least.
Yep.
Whether or not there is any actual benefit to it. At this point, I don't know
He
if
doesn't
Osgood
do
would
it.
even believe in it, but
He doesn't.
He would do it to do it. So.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right. Brandon, you had another thing you would like to do?
Well, for one, I'm gonna have to pick a lock because I
Mhm.
need to get out the room.
Yep. Sleight of hand check.
I just want to freaking. All I want to do is make sure that I can get from the balcony to the
Mhm.
ramparts if I need to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Easy enough.
I have a question.
As question. As answer.
Does the oil of sharpness even work on the sun sword? I don't
Ooh,
think it does.
probably not. That's a good question.
Savari is going to give the oil of sharpness to Trovic.
I mean, I just unlocked a door for you, so you can.
Absolutely. Cool. Fair enough. So
Well,
Trevik, you would gain an oil of sharpness if you would like to add it to your inventory.
Yeah.
Sweet. And Braymond, what you do? You going to memorize the path?
Yeah, I just want to see how far it is from the balcony to the ramparts, basically. I want to walk it so that I know where I'm going.
Okay, so let me move you to here so we can do a measuring thing.
It can be something we do later. It's
I
fine.
know. I'll figure it out later for you. Yes, you could walk the path, figuring out how long it would take. And I would give you a rough estimate of balcony to thing to rampart. I just need to look at a page to see that I'm not bullshitting you when I tell the whole group this. Balcony. Oof.
Is it longer than I thought?
Yeah, that's not a direct route anywhere. Shit.
Oh, okay.
Trying to see where tower would put you. Sorry, I'm gonna figure this out too. I didn't lie to you, so.
It's fine. We can work it out later.
No. I know. I just the one. It's a secret pathway, and if you're using the castle and using the castle, no, it's not that far. It's not ridiculous if you use the secret door, which would mean Strahd shows you the secret door, which you probably would if the plan was to get the fuck to the balcony.
Cool.
So yes, we can work all that out measurement-wise and figure it out space-wise after the session. But you would able to get out and move about the castle to look around and possibly figure out anything that you would need to figure out. However, with that said, I would say eventually you all do retire to your rooms that you were assigned or given and go to sleep for one final time before you wake the
Long
next
rest button.
day. Everybody use your long rest buttons.
Long rest.
Everybody do your things. You'll be
I've been
waking up
down
roughly
9
about
points.
7 hours after 2 in the morning, so roughly about 9 in the morning-ish. But we don't have time clocks in Barovia, so it's what it is. And that's
I
about the time
recover
you all will
70
wake up
days.
the next day with about maybe 2 to 3 hours or so before shit hits the fan, potentially. And
Hey
that is
guys,
where
we
we're going
got
to
4
end this
hours to
session.
live.
Let's go.
And that's where we're going to end session 46 of Curse of Strahd.
Yay. Before our doom.
46.
Half a second, guys. I need to run outside real quick.
Sure.
God,
I just want to
46 episodes.
Just want to thank everybody for coming on through and joining us on this journey. The next session will more likely be the last in-game session. My thoughts are, and then we're going to have like a wrap-up session talking about the entire campaign. In the session after that, just a reminder to everyone, due to the America holiday of 4th of July happening next Sunday, we're going to be taking that off. So expect the episode 47 of Curse of Strahd to happen on the 11th of July. If you missed most of this session, we've been uploading the VODs to my D&D channel, the One Shot Tavern, which I put a link of that in the chat right now. So if you want to go check out the One Shot Tavern, go check that out right now. But then again, guys, thanks so much for coming on out. We'll see you next not this Sunday, on the July 11th for episode 47 Curse of Strahd, and I'll be back tomorrow with some video game streaming on my side. But other than that, does anyone else have anything to say before heading out?
I'd like to say a few words.
Okay.
You say your few words, and then I'll say mine.
All right. Holy fuck, guys. 46 episodes. I reckon by the time that the next episode comes, that'll be it. I'll either die or we'll live. I just want to say to everybody who has watched us and supported us this far, thank you so much for sticking around and for being there for us. This has been a wild ride. This is the longest campaign that I think I've ever played in, and I'm sure a lot of my other friends would attest to that. MTC is a fucking awesome DM, and I doubt that we're ever going to be able to have anything quite like this again for a little while at least. So thank you to MTC for putting this together for us and keeping with us. That's
Thanks,
it.
man. I appreciate that. Well, my one thing I wanted to say was something of a similar vein is that holy fuck, this has been way too long and way too far in the making. I appreciate everybody for coming out and doing everything they do every time. Our artists, our creators, our innovators, our musicians, we couldn't do anything without you guys. We couldn't do anything without our viewers. We couldn't do anything without the players. Everybody who's part of this is amazing, and it's hard to express in words how grateful I am to everybody that's been a part of this. So whatever happens, happens. Whether you live, whether you die, whether nothing happens and it's anticlimactic as hell. This has been one hell of a game, and I am going to be quite sad whenever it does finish up. So thank you all so much. Thank you to everybody who's been freaking awesome with everything they've done. Thank you to everybody who constantly supports DBFig in this and other endeavors, and all these wonderful creators. They all deserve your love and respect. Nimue Neath, Blueness, DBFig, Chiyoko, and the Wicked Lefty, as well as over to take Gaynor, our wonderful wizard who had life problems, come up, and also our blind fool who got turned into a doll with Lord Sissy. We want to thank everybody in our group because everybody was amazing in contributing in this. So thank you all so much for everything. Oh, and I also want to thank Leonhard because he was a guest actor as Lucius Alexandrov back in episode like 12 or 13, and he was amazing at what he did. Sorry, the long run of shout-outs because I'm feeling friendly and shout-outy today.
Yep.
But thank you guys so much, and I'm passing this one back to Fig.
All right, sounds good. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on July 11th for what's most likely going to be the finale fight of Curse of Strahd, and we'll see you then. Take care, all.